Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest on the Dynasty Diner tonight. You know him from the Discord. You know him from the chat pretty much nightly. It is Brick Flair, a.k.a. Blake. I call you by your nickname first, then your second, your actual name, your God-given name, your legal name. Blake, media manager of the channel. Can't thank this guy enough for all he does for me, my Lord and Savior. How you doing, buddy?
How you doing? I mean, it's good to be here. I don't usually come on here, so it's pretty turn to be here.
Well, get used to it, buddy. It's your second show, but we have a lot of college football shit coming up, and you're a big college football fan. I mean, we're generally an NFL show, but we need to get in college football mode in terms of these prospects, and I've already started my pretty deep research, man. I probably put about 30 hours in per position, which adds up a lot. I have a blank slate, which is kind of unique because I don't watch these guys playing typically. I only watch the championship game. Maybe watch 10 hours of college football all year. So Dakota says, old stashy stash. Yeah, man. I do things to piss my wife off, and whenever I have a big beard, before I shave it all off, I'll do it. God, well, you know what? I'll give you my stash when I shave it. I do have a question for you.
Really grow facial hair.
You got a little bit down there. You're a young man, though. You got some time. So I ask every new guest this. I kind of forgot to do this. I'm going to start doing it again. It's one of my favorite questions. Who did you lose your boob movie virginity to? So, like, the first time you saw boobs in a movie, and I know you're a little younger than me, so it's different. Like, it was easier for you to access porn than it was for me. I'm 38, almost 38 years old. So, like, porn wasn't readily available when I was 8 years old. But in movies, you always see the first, it might be Titanic, right? So do you remember the first time you actually saw tits in a movie? And who was it? And is it etched in your brain?
I really don't remember, if I'm being completely honest. Like, nothing even really comes to my mind when it comes to, I guess, just porn, honestly.
Because I'm saying your generation is fucking fucked, man. Because you were just watching like gangbangs and shit when you were 9. So mine was Halloween 2. Halloween 2. I was about 8 years old, and there was a couple, but I know a lot of people lost it to Titanic because it was PG-13, and it has that. It's Kate. Is it Kate Winslet? Is that Kate Winslet's the actress? Yeah. The scene where she's getting drawn. I do have a quick funny story that may or may not be true. My parents, so I love my parents. My dad watches every show. He's going to get embarrassed when I say the story, but they recorded like a porn video when they were in Germany, and they had it like stashed like with our movies. And like I have older siblings, and they put it on accident. And so I'm pretty sure my mom's tits weren't the first ones I saw, but I do remember them telling me I was watching the movie, and they thought it was just a movie. Next thing you know, they're doing the dirty. They're doing the dirty. You know what I mean?
You're just watching a porno of your parents.
Yeah, that would definitely happen if I had kids. That would definitely be a story they would have of me. I love you, Dad. That pretty epic stuff you had there. So he definitely took my mom to Pound Town. Clearly, he did it 4 times at least because, I have 3 siblings. So, like, everyone's always like, can't picture my parents fucking. I'm like, well, they did. They did. One other question. What'd you think about the halftime show?
My bad. I like Bad Bunny's music, but the halftime show was terrible. Like, I don't know what he says, but I think it's a vibe, I like listening to Bad Bunny, but I didn't like it, if I'm honest. It was too, like, upbeat, theatrical. I don't know.
I don't understand how that dude's I understand, like, he's the highest grossing artist in the world, so it's like worldwide, right? It's the same thing as like you like soccer. Soccer is the most popular sport worldwide. We all know it sucks. Sorry, Blake. But I'm just fucking with you. But like, I don't understand how he is that popular. Like, regardless of the language it's in, like it's not good music. It's not groovy. I'm a musician. I'm a drummer, so I can get down on all types of music. And he's not talented. Like, I don't think he's got a good voice. I just don't know what the hell people see in this guy. It's weird.
The songs that he performed weren't his songs that are like you turn on, you can just chill to. Like, those were the songs that are like upbeat, popular, like pop, like. All the views on those songs, but like those aren't his best songs in my opinion. It's one of those situations.
All right, we're here to talk Dynasty players. No, but the point is, even if I knew what he was saying, I wouldn't like it. Just it's not my cup of tea. Either way, whatever. NFL is known for bungling these things. They never get good acts. The halftime show is always a joke. They always advertise it as the best show, like the best concert of the year. Like, dude, it's like 18 minutes long. Like, that's like 2 songs from the bands I like. The fuck?
Why can't we just get like Metallica or like, I know we already had it, but Red Hot Chili Peppers, like the GOATs, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's get some classics in there.
Even Green Day. I'm not a Green Day
Day,
fan.
yeah.
Like
Like, it
old
was
Green Day is
alright,
fun, but
but
like
for
they
it to
did the
stand
opening
out,
or whatever.
yeah.
That's fine. We're fine with that. Not what this is. Anyway,
100%.
Dynasty talk here. We're doing 5 players. You have 3 because you were a late addition to the show. I have 4 from Chaz, and I have 5 players we're giving up on. So these are players. This could be Dynasty. This could be redraft. Just players we're giving up on. There's no hope. Whether they're older, it may be some younger players, maybe a JJ McCarthy type, or we're just saying there is no hope. So I'm going to give you my first name. We're going to talk these guys out. Let us know in the chat what you think. Dakota also says, oh boy, no basketball chat tonight because, as you know, Dakota hates Scottie Pippen.
Scottie Pippen's underrated.
He hates him. Yeah, I saw a list. He was listed number 28. I think it was maybe Bleacher Report, 28th on their all-time list, and I that's pretty fair. And I was trying to do my own list because I'm gonna have Dakota on, and we're gonna do a top 20 of our own list, right? And I really want to get Scotty in my top 20. Not just to stick it to Dakota, but I feel like he deserves it. You know, I'm not Mr. As you watch the show up, like I'm not about rings. I think rings are overrated. NBA rings are more valuable than NFL rings, for instance. But like the ring Scotty has, he has 6 rings. Like he was the second best player on all those teams. Like the list goes on, but it's like I want that guy in my top 20.
For sure. I mean, personally, I don't know about
Like
top
here's
20,
my thing, Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Well, do you like Kevin Durant?
Yeah. Probably greatest scorer ever. I mean, LeBron technically greatest scorer ever, but like, who's stopping Kevin Durant? I mean, when it comes to like the greatest guys, like you can't stop any of them. But like Kevin Durant, like when it comes to like go get you a bucket, it's Kevin Durant will go get you a bucket. You know what I'm saying?
Kevin Durant is possibly the greatest scorer ever, but there's a lot more to the equation, and like it's hard for me to put Kevin Durant ahead of Scottie Pippen because Kevin Durant's titles are fraudulent. If you talk about people like punish LeBron for ring chasing, Kevin Durant's a definition, and it actually hasn't worked out for him because Brooklyn was terrible, and it was also terrible in Phoenix.
Yeah. And
He even make the playoffs in Phoenix, bro.
They're not going to do anything with the Rockets either. I mean, I don't know if you remember that NBA show you done. I was saying that the Rockets will not be higher than a 5 seed, and right now they're 3, but it's so close in the West that they could still be right at the 5 seed, like somewhere in there. I think that's where they'll fall. I mean, like I have every reason to think Houston should be good or root for them because of Reed, you know, from my hometown. But I just don't. I looked at that roster before the season started. I wasn't a fan of it personally.
Oh, I missed a chance for a great cutaway. I was talking about that home movie me and my siblings
Hey,
watched.
you ever accidentally masturbate to young pictures of your mom?
Who the fuck starts a conversation like that? I just sat down.
That's weird.
I get half credit for that. It was clever, half credit for that. All right, players are giving up on. I'm going to give you my first name here. CJ Stroud is quarterback 17 on Fantasy Pros Dynasty ranks. He is 24 years old. I thought he was older than that. That's a very young guy. He's played 3 years in the league. There's uncertainty on his destination, whether they're going to re-sign him. And I think Houston's not a good destination in general. We're talking fantasy. And like he doesn't comp like his skill set, right? And what they ask him to do and just who he is not good. It's not conducive for fantasy points. We've just seen it time and time again. Even his rookie year was good. It was efficient. He had a lot of yards, but he only had 20 touchdown passes. So like he's not a guy that's going to be putting up big numbers. And there's a chance that CJ Stroud's just like done. As in like done in terms of even close to be sniffing the fantasy radar.
I mean, look at every Ohio State quarterback. I mean, basically since I've been alive that I know of, like Cardale Jones, J.T. Barrett, Pryor, Stroud, Justin Fields. I mean, I don't even really have to explain anything.
Haskins.
Like, Haskins. Like, I really don't even have to say anything else about it. Like, it's just, I don't know. I guess they're just cursed. I mean, they just fall off or they don't even really pan
Yeah,
out.
well, it goes along with playing with amazing talent, right? Like they always have the receivers always pan out because they have so much talent. The offensive line's always very good. The scheme, they always have like the best coaching. So CJ Stroud was supposed to be the one to break the mold, man, and it's not looking good. It's not looking good.
They had now,
Jay says he's having a hard time hearing you. Where is your mic? You're talking into your headset. Talk now.
It's probably just me not talking loud enough. Like, I'm kind of soft-spoken, so.
Yeah, well, yeah, I gotta fucking get that shit up, man.
I know.
You can't be you. So CJ Stroud, are you out on CJ Stroud? I guess is my question to you because I'm out.
Yeah, I would never draft him.
He's done.
I would never draft. I would take Cam Ward over him every day.
What about Bryce Young?
I think Bryce stepped up this year, bro. I mean, he's still gonna have his interceptions, but and most of his interceptions come off of just like tip passes and stuff. But I like Bryce Young personally. I want to see him be good, so I'm a fan.
Jonathan says Pistons can't stop fighting. I don't know if you saw the fight last night. It was pretty intense.
Yep.
So, Mouse says, yo, Brick, you need to talk louder. So everyone's just saying you need to talk louder. We got a comment. I'll get to the next name here in a second. Luck Boy says, I made 2 trades this week, 0.75 PPR tight end premium. So that's one. It's typically 1 for a tight end catch and then 0.75 PPR for everyone else. Sent Ramondre plus the 401 for Worthy plus the 304. Then sent Freiermuth plus Rodriguez for Mason Taylor. Those are pretty deep trades. Let's break down the first one. Ramondre plus the 401 for Worthy and the 304. Man, I think I like this. It comes down to Xavier Worthy, but it's worth the fucking lottery ticket on Xavier Worthy, and you're upgrading your rookie draft pick. So in the short term, I like the Ramondre side better. It depends on what you need, running back, wide receiver, of course. But Ramondre, as much as, in this channel, we've been so down on TreVeyon Henderson. But they still spent a really, really high draft pick on TreVeyon Henderson. So give me your thoughts on Xavier Worthy. Like, this is a guy that could be in this list. I don't have him on my list on players we're giving up on because Xavier Worthy's bad. He is fucking bad. I've never seen worse sideline awareness than Xavier Worthy. The guy steps out of bounds all the fucking time, whether that's on a route and then he comes back in and it's illegal touching or just not getting his feet in bounds. His hands are terrible. He doesn't high point the ball. He drops the ball. Like, he's just not a good football player. Like, the definition of the word football player, which is sometimes overrated. In this case, it's not. Like, he's a bad football player. He's just really fast, but tied to Patrick Mahomes, very, very young. They have a lot of stuff to replace. I don't think they can draft more wide receivers. And Rashee Rice is always a knucklehead move away from getting suspended again. So we saw Worthy dominate when he took the Rashee Rice role. So what are your thoughts on Worthy just in general? Like, is he a guy you still have hope for?
I think I'm not out on him, but he has a lot of work to do. Like you said, he's tied to Mahomes, so that's the plus side of it. Andy Reid will get him right, you would assume. Coming out of college, I thought he was going to be crazy, like next Tyreek, basically because of his speed. But like you said, he literally has no field awareness. I don't know. This past season, it looked really, really awful for him. I don't know. I'm not out on him, though. But personally, would I take him? Probably not.
Luck says he has Mahomes plus Rice, so it's almost like a handcuff for Rice. The one feather in your cap you could have for Worthy is that first game where he broke his collarbone, right? Like, that was a fluke play. We don't know the extent of how that affected his whole season, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm pretty sure he was not healthy all year. I definitely know he wasn't healthy when he came back early. And then he also had, I think it was a hammy or a groin injury. So, it could have just been an injury issue all year. But again, that doesn't affect what I was saying about his awareness and how he's just not a good football player. That doesn't matter there. That's not in between his helmet, right? His helmet, what's in his helmet is pure mush. Dude's a fucking clown. Like, he's fucking awful. Ramondre Stevenson, again, this next year I love it. So hopefully, Luck, he was a depth piece for you at running back because Stevenson will have, at least next year, I like Stevenson. I think he's going to be really undervalued in redraft just because I think TreVeyon will go ahead of him. Would you agree? You think TreVeyon will be drafted ahead of Stevenson again just because all the hipsters are just going to they're still on this fucking guy?
Yeah. I mean, I was one of the people that drafted TreVeyon early, and Ramondre, he's just better all around. Like, there's no argument about it, I think. TreVeyon, people were just hung up on the 50-yard touchdowns from TreVeyon down the fucking stretch of the season. Like, he probably helped you win or at least get to the playoffs in a lot of leagues. Like, if you had him, I still think Ramondre is better though.
The touchdowns were fluky. I mean, I'm saying there's Bijan's long runs are different. Like, he actually makes 3 guys misses and makes a 12-yard run into an 80-yard run. Trayvion's were not like that, and I think the only game that actually impressed me. Remember it was a Thursday night game, I believe, against the Jets. He had like 18 carries for 60 yards and like 5 receptions. He had 2 touchdowns. That was actually his most impressive game because he was breaking tackles, he was running physically. That was it. Like outside of that, his film is dog shit. I implore everyone to watch Trayvion's film again and like don't just box score watch because we get in a lot of trouble. The fantasy community and analysts always it's really easy to look at box scores. I don't give a fuck about box scores. I care about what I see with my eyes. And again, I'm not always right, and we're not always right with our film. You know, we all have our biases. I have no reason to hate Trayvion. He did not fuck my wife. I promise you guys. No reason to hate Trayvion Henderson. Just the fact that I didn't like him coming out, and I got a lot of shit about, oh my God, he's amazing. The preseason return he had, like whoop-de fucking do. Like, I don't know. I guess it remains to be seen. I still think Ramondre is the better player of this deal, but you upgrading from 4 to 3 is nice. And Ramondre is definitely, unless he balls out again next year, he's not going to get a starter. He's not going to get starter money. He's not going to get the starting position on another team. So, and he's also a running back. Wide receivers last longer. We're going to break down, let's see, Freiermuth plus Rodriguez for Mason Taylor. I like Mason Taylor. So Freiermuth is a nothing. I mean, I assume they're going to cut Jonnu Smith this year. So Freiermuth will be back into that lead role. They love Darnell Washington there, though. And that's just a really, really mucky situation. It's the Steelers. They don't do shit. Chris Rodriguez is a nothing. So essentially it's Freiermuth or Mason Taylor. You're in on this one, right?
Yeah, Mason Taylor had a lot of upside this season, even with how bad the Jets' offense was. I think he had a lot of upside. So yeah, I'm in.
I love Mason Taylor, man. He flashed. It was early in the year. Chris Rodriguez is nothing, right? He is literally a practice squad level player.
He's just a Kentucky guy. I gotta root for him. I like him. You know, that's
right.
That's all it is.
We got Mark, super chat. Thank you, my dude. Number one super fan. We got the media manager. We got the number one super fan. We have our partner in crime, Mouse South, below us here. Let's get it, AO. Good to see the big dog Blake on the show. Hope all is well, fellas. Hopped on for a few before I go to bed. Love y'all. What a guy Mark is. He's going to bed. He gives me a super chat just to say hello. What a dude. He is the man. The nicest guy I've ever met. Anyone that has anything bad to say about Canadians, Mark is Canadian, and he's one of the nicest people. Some of the nicest people I've ever met are from Canada, so go fuck yourself on that Canada bullshit, you clowns. I love Americans, but like sometimes we get really caught up in politics, which is just silly. And also, I don't think most of these guys we're talking about are actually politicians, you know? So they're just, people that live in Canada. It's not their fucking fault. It's not your fault.
Yeah, Canadians are the shit.
They are. Thank you, Mark. Miles says, Pat said Belichick moment. Kraft went to Society House and said, let's draft a career third down back. At least it wasn't a Holy Cross long snapper. They do. The Patriots have missed a lot of draft picks. It's wild they got right back in this spot after Brady left, and like Belichick left them in ruins because as much as I love Belichick, for player Belichick's great at like turning over the roster, and he was great at drafting defensive players, but Belichick drafting wide receivers, historically bad. Any skill player, so he left that team in ruins. And somehow they recouped. I don't know how they did it, but now they were back in the Super Bowl amongst all those mistakes, right? And this is another mistake in my mind. We're talking Trayvon Henderson again, but it's wild they got back to the Super Bowl. At least they didn't win, though. Thank God.
Like Ray was saying the other day, like the Patriots were just early to the party. Like they really had no business being in the Super Bowl, but I mean they done it. So I mean, what can you say, really?
It's just a shame that Josh Allen with the receivers and everything that he couldn't make it. Lamar Jackson, like these guys have been screwed. Like essentially Mahomes was MJing the entire AFC for all those years. All these teams that should have gone, the Ravens should have gone to at least one if you think of the talent level they had. Josh Allen should have gone to 1 or 2. And this was the year it was wide open for him, but unfortunately Lamar got hurt. And I have a little graphic here. This is hilarious. This is the Bills wide receiver core through this year. Look at this. By the way, they paid Josh Palmer $30 million, 15 guaranteed. But Shakir, Palmer, Curtis Samuel, Keon Coleman, McCole Hardman, Brandon Cooks, Gabe Davis, Tyrell Shavers, and Steven Gosnell. I don't know who that guy is, but this is the definition of just guys.
So much, and he was barely even seeing the field.
I don't know, man. I mean, he had a couple nice bright spots and decent years in Washington. Yeah, he was hurt coming into the season. But, like, dude, this is a bad... Like, have you ever seen a worse... Like, this is worse than the Titans crew because the Titans had Ridley, and they started out the year with Lockett, and they had, Io Manor and DK who were somewhat fourth round picks. Like the Titans had the worst skill players in my opinion all year of the NFL, but I think the Titans had more talent than this.
Yeah, I agree, honestly. I mean, Shakir's the only really exception. Like everybody else is,
But Shakir is so far away from a one prototype. You know what I mean? Like he was their one by default. But like Shakir is a 3. Would you agree? He's a 3, a good 3. He's a hell of a 3, but at a 2 at best. But like to have him like playing, he's out of position. He can't really separate. He's good after the catch, but he can't play outside. And let's not forget, Dalton Kincaid's kind of been a bust. Like they don't have much. And those guys were also hurt. Both Kincaid and Knox came out after the year saying that they have to have MCL surgery. So they had knee injuries all year.
Speaking of that, Will Campbell came out saying that he had a torn MCL basically ever since he came back.
Yeah, and do you hear the thing that said Drake May's shoulder injury was way worse than reported? I don't always believe this because it sounds like excuses. Sounds like excuses, right? Because Drake May and Will Campbell are the face of their franchises to kind of get some heat off them. Which again, I'm not putting heat on them. They're a rookie and a second-year player. Essentially, this is Drake May's rookie year, based on having a professional coach and everything else. So like, I don't think you need to say this shit. Don't say it. Just have the surgery. Like I think it's a loser mentality personally.
Yeah, I agree.
Faded said Bijan, best running back in the league, changed my mind. Well, we can't change your mind because it's the truth. You agree with that?
Yeah.
Like
Bijan,
by
CMC.
like a mile, right?
Yeah.
I love CMC, man. As you know, I've been on record saying it's hard to say CMC is overrated. I'm saying his numbers are overrated, right? Like even with the Panthers, like he was the entire offense. Bijan is such a better player. Okay, Bijan's such a better runner than CMC. Like
Some of
physically,
cuts that Bijan has is just like, I don't know. He's like from a different planet or something.
I've never seen anything like it, honestly. Like, I mean, there has been in the past, like Adrian Peterson didn't quite have those cuts, but he's Adrian Peterson level talent, and Adrian Peterson's all-time talent. Walter Payton, guys like that. Where like, if you ask me, Emmitt Smith isn't even that talent. Emmitt Smith just was stayed healthy and was really, really good. He was not elite at anything. He was just very, very, very great at everything. Like everything, pass catching, elusiveness, and also he just stayed healthy. Now, I'm not trying to rip on Emmitt Smith because he is the NFL leader in rushing, but real quick, Luck says I'm tanking this year to get Jeremiah Love. Huh?
You think Derrick Henry will pass Emmitt Smith?
Yeah, he should, because he could play for another 4 or 5 years. What are your thoughts on Jeremiah Smith? He said he's tanking to get Jeremiah Smith. It sucks he can't come out. He's so ready for the NFL. But is this dude a can't miss? I mean, unfortunately, the last can't miss we had was Marvin Harrison Jr., and that's a fact.
Yeah, I think
he missed.
Smith is he's level. I mean, Marvin's college tape is crazy, but Jeremiah Smith really is like, you can probably put him in the NFL right now, and he's top 10 right now, maybe. Like, that might be crazy, but he's can't miss.
Real quick, shout out to Downtown Sports and Mouth South. We're gonna get the graphic for him. You hit up Blake in the Discord, Mouth, and get a graphic going. But 23 platforms. They did 2 episodes this week. Link in the description, guys. Downtown Sports. It's a more real life sports than fantasy sports, but they talk some fantasy as well. Palmer for 30 mil makes more sense than Samuel for 24 mil. I would probably agree with that one. Samuel has always just been a gadget player.
I agree.
Now, Rob, it can't be an excuse for Drake May and not an excuse for Josh Allen. They don't come out and say this about Josh Allen, though. It's more. I doubt Drake May is getting shoulder surgery. That's all I'm saying. We know that Josh Allen was in crutches and he's going to have foot surgery because he had a broken bone in his foot. That's my only thing. I don't know how I'm the Josh Allen defender, I think he's just great. I think he's the best quarterback in the league. That's it. I don't love the guy. I mean, I wish he was on my team, but
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the Bills or him or whatever. I mean, I am a fan of him, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, I defend him though, pretty much just like you. Like, he's the best. There's nobody better.
Miles says Drake May is getting a cardiectomy. Is that a shoulder surgery? If he is, then I stand corrected. I will stand corrected. We got doctor on the show. Fede says not even. It's all Barkley and Henry. They're just different players. Saquon is the freakish athlete. I mean, what do you think? Is Barkley coming out of college, first couple of years, is he better? Early Barkley better than early Bijan? It's tough, man.
I think I'm taking Bijan, bro. If I'm being honest, in the first couple of years, I mean, yeah, Saquon was crazy coming out, but like, I don't know. Bijan moves different than anybody I can remember, honestly.
And he never gets hurt. Like Barkley has had a lot of injury concerns. You know what I mean? Derrick Henry is just so hard to evaluate compared to everyone else because he's literally an alien, and he's so one dimensional. I actually believe Derrick Henry's a better pass catcher than what he's allowed to show because he just gets pulled off the field. Titans did it, and the Ravens definitely did it. But in terms of all purpose, like yes, Derrick Henry is one of those guys that between carry 22 and carry 26, he's better than carry 2 and carry 6. You know what I mean? He gets better as the game goes on. He wears down defenses. Derrick Henry, all-time talent. I mean, Bijan is one of those guys that's just it's a different like skill set. He can do it all, and his feet, the cuts, the power. I can't wait till next year when Tyler Allgeier's gone to see Bijan unleashed because it's gonna be silly, bro. Silly.
Allgeier's a pickup though, wherever he goes.
I love Allgeier, and I don't blame them for playing Allgeier a decent amount just because I think Tyler Allgeier is a top, say, 20 running back, top 22 running back in the league. Because that dude's an underrated pass catcher, and he is a fucking bowling ball. That dude is a monster. Let's not forget, Tyler Allgeier, 1,000 yards rushing his rookie season with a bad team. Like, that happened, and Tyler Allgeier has only put really good film in front of me whenever I watch Tyler Allgeier film. That's why I draft him every year, although it's a mistake because Bijan is just indestructible. Drake May's left tackle is trash. That is very accurate. Will Campbell... The concerns are real, man. I know, like, everyone was saying that how stupid it was. Like, arm length isn't everything. And it is not everything. It's the same thing as, like, a quarterback having small hands is not everything. But Kenny Pickett, it was everything for him. And I think Will Campbell's a guard. That's all I'm saying. Will Campbell, Pro Bowl, all-pro guard possibly. I think he's, at best, a good left tackle. You think he can overcome those tiny arms and his short frame?
My friend, he's a Patriots fan, diehard, and he was literally telling me yesterday that he wants to see Will Campbell put at guard. So maybe that should be a thing. I don't know.
It's almost like admitting that they were wrong by drafting him and moving him. You know what I mean? It's almost like admitting they're wrong, but like, what's best for your franchise? If you can just spend another first rounder on a tackle this year, because the rest of the roster is pretty goddamn good. They need another receiver, but doing that would just solidify this offensive line and play him in his natural position because he was overmatched. And, you know, maybe it was the injury, maybe it was the short hand, maybe it was the combination of the arms and the injury. I don't know. He wasn't necessarily great all year. He was good. He impressed me at the start of the year, but also let's look at the pass rushers and the defenses he was facing. They were not great. It was not like a murderer's row. So let's move on to my second name here. In players we are giving up on, I got Aaron Jones, running back 45. Now, running back 45 could be a value in Dynasty for just a one-year rental, especially if he re-signs with the Vikings. But he is 31 years old, dude. He's going to be 32. Aaron Jones just is never going to play a full year. What's the most he could play? 8 or 9, 10 games maybe?
He's been like that ever since he was in Green Bay too, like the last couple years. So. Yeah,
yeah, you're a Green Bay guy, so give me your take on Aaron Jones. Like, is he done? Were you glad that the Green Bay gave up on him?
Yeah, 100%. Josh Jacobs. I mean, life's been way better with Josh Jacobs than it was those last couple of years with Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon. So yeah, I'd say I'm done with him also.
All right, he's done. I'm done with him as well. This next one's pretty easy. Deebo Samuel, wide receiver 54. He's 30 years old, but like that's essentially a 35-year-old man. All the running back snaps he took, all the fucking carries he took.
Yeah,
he's never been a polished or a very good. He's not an alpha. He's not even a 1. So we saw this year. He started off pretty good, and then he just wore down. And I feel like more of the same is going to come. I doubt he's going to be on the Commanders next year, so there's a chance he goes to, maybe a team like the Raiders or the Titans, and they use one last hurrah for Deebo Samuel. But I'm not betting on that. And if you have a chance to get out from under Deebo Samuel, you're not going to get much, obviously, wide receiver 54, but I'm giving up on Deebo Samuel.
Yeah, there's no chance I would draft him, especially in a dynasty league. Like, he don't have much left in the tank, for sure. He just got beat down.
It's a shame, man. It's a shame because they fucked him, and that's what he said. DK Metcalf. This one's interesting because it's a question mark for me because I want to hear what you have to say about DK Metcalf. He is wide receiver 28 on Fantasy Pros Dynasty. He is 28 years old only. But it's not so much like he's like the other guys. I feel like they're done. CJ Stroud's more of a mental issue. Jones and Samuel are probably done. But DK Metcalf, it's like we keep on saying like this is the year, right? This is the year. This is the year. He'll get it figured out. This new, what this is going to change. That's going to change. He went to the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers is, as amazing with his ones. He targets one guy, hyper focuses on one guy. Didn't happen for DK again this year. We're still chasing his year 2 production. And it's been 7 years. So, yes, that is a Burbs Prince. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. Good eyes, Beach. So, do you have hope for DK Metcalf? Like, because he's still pretty young. I don't think he's lost a step. He's just not very agile, and he has not learned to play the wide receiver position. The guy cannot beat zone. He can't get open. Like, he cannot exploit zone coverage, which is a major problem.
I think he still has a lot of. I think he can still be good, but they're gonna have to get somebody else in there, like bring in IU, fucking Debo, even somebody just to take some of the pressure off of DK, some of the looks off DK, because if he can, if that can happen, Aaron will get him the ball. So that is if Aaron's there, but I don't think I'm out on DK. I would take him maybe.
I don't know if I am either. That's why I wanted to put him on here because I feel like it's a good conversation to have about, because I'm a big DK Metcalf fan. I've always been a big DK Metcalf fan, and I shouldn't be because I draft him every year, and every year he disappoints. Like outside of his second year, his rookie year was great. He finished really good. No one knew about him. He has not returned value, and maybe in 2 years he's returned value, which is not a ringing endorsement for a guy that stayed relatively healthy. Now this year, he was doing okay. The suspension really hurt, but like that's also part of the DK Metcalf experience. Not so much this is suspension because this is like kind of an isolated incident, but he does tend to get. I think he's been ejected from a game before. Like he's a knucklehead. He lets the situation get the best of him. He lets matchups get the best of him. Remember Lattimore and Mike Evans, like those kind of situations where Mike Evans would let it get to his head and have these stinkers of like 2 for 12. When like Lattimore was a good corner, but like Mike Evans, much better player than Marshawn Lattimore. But, like, I just feel like he gets defeated in some of these games. And, fuck, I don't want to give up on DK. I really don't. But it's like, how many more years can I draft the guy? And I've slowly faded. I went from, like, always having him in, like, 30% of my leagues to 20% of my leagues. This past year was, like, 10% of my leagues. But he just disappoints me. And he's the ultimate example of a guy, if you just watch his highlights, right? And you don't watch, like, the low lights or even just the incomplete passes, you're going to, like, fall in love with the guy. Because when he makes plays, even the like week 15, whatever, maybe it was week 14, the touchdown he had where he Derrick Henry to dude. He caught the ball. It was a 28-yard touchdown, but he like broke 3 tackles. And like it was just like no one else in the NFL is scoring on this play. So he has that part of his game. It was against the Ravens. Yeah, it was unreal. But it's just the other stuff. So you're still on DK like next year.
How old did you say he was? 28?
At that price point? He's only 28.
When do you think that receivers like what age do you really think the receivers like really dip off?
Man, it really depends on the receiver, right? Because
yeah,
certain guy, Devontae Adams clearly hasn't dropped off at all. Maybe a little bit, but he's like 33 years old. So I'd say around 30 is the number. So it really depends because Keenan Allen's a guy that has maintained really well. And he doesn't rely on speed, right? DK Metcalf, the second his athleticism goes. Now, maybe the counter to that is DK Metcalf's so athletic that he can lose 10% of his athleticism and still be better than everyone else in the league in that regard. But I'm just discouraged that he has not learned to play the position. All the things he struggled with year 2, he's struggling with year 7, year 8. And like that, like he's capped on that. He's never going to learn. You're not just going to learn at 29 years old how to like the intricacies of the wide receiver position. You're just not.
Yeah, like a Keenan Allen, Devontae Adams type, like Cooper Kupp type. Like they're just so crafty and good with their footwork. Like they can make it work even if they're 30, 33, 30, whatever they are. Like the DK, he like you said, he relies on his athleticism so much that it just if it dwindles down he's really, I mean, not going to be that great because of the other thing.
I feel like the tweeners age well, right? Like Cooper Kupp's an example. I know he had a decent year this year, but like he was a 4.6 40 guy, 4.6. So he in his prime, Cooper Kupp was good enough to his athleticism was more than enough because how crafty he is. But like he has lost a step and a half. And when you ran a 4.6, you have that like below average speed. It really remember Kenny Galladay? Kenny Galladay was fucking balling for now this might have been Kenny Galladay being a knucklehead. Like he was balling for the Lions. And then he got so much. And I'm not going to say DK Metcalf is a Kenny Galladay level player, but they are similar skill sets. It's just DK Metcalf's way faster and way stronger. But when you lose it, when you have nothing else besides your just physical abilities, you can't hang your hat on the nuance of the position and using your brain. Where a guy like Keenan Allen is just going to outthink you and he's going to set up defenders, and like that's the difference. DK Metcalf never set up a defender in his life. He never needed to. One day he's going to need to, and it's not going to be there. This is a good one from Mouth. I've given up on Jalen Waddle, because I'm sick of the goddamn tired of chasing after year one production, never getting it. Jalen Waddle, rookie year was awesome. That was a 100-catch season. It was a PPR scam. Then his second year, I think, was the first year of Tyreek. That's where he had all the explosive plays. It was like 80 catches for like 1,200 yards. And my big thing is not even the numbers, and also Tua being just atrocious. I have him on my list next. We're going to talk about him in a second. It's the injury concern. He's a blue tent merchant, man. The guy's always leaving games early, right?
Yeah, him and who is Woody Marks. Those are the.
Yeah, well, Woody Marks owns the blue tent, but like Jalen Waddle and T Higgins are two of these guys that just it's tough. And Jalen Waddle's even worse, but it's so tough because nothing's worse in fantasy than starting a guy with a good matchup. Jalen Waddle and T Higgins are both usually like high end, mid range wide receiver twos, so you have to start them. And they're relatively healthy coming in the game. And then what do you know? You're watching the game. They land on their shoulder. With Waddle, it's always a shoulder. He just gets tackled a little hard because he's so frail. And he's either out of the whole game or he misses like a quarter. And like it happens like 7 times a year. I don't know how. You got a guy like St. Brown who's like after the year, I had meniscus surgery, and he didn't miss a beat, didn't miss a play. And like St. Brown's not a big dude. He's jacked, but he's not a giant dude. But I think Jalen Waddle's just kind of a bitch. I think he's kind of a bitch.
Who do you think is going to be the Dolphins quarterback?
Oh, it's not going to be Tua. I mean, Tua's going to be on the roster because that cap hit is wild. But, I mean, Malik Willis is an option. Yeah. That would not be good.
No.
But that would not be necessarily good for Jalen Waddle, right?
Yeah. I don't want Malik to go there personally. I'd rather see him go to like
Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's an option, but you want a small quarterback throwing to a small receiver? That ain't going to work out.
Kirk Cousins.
That's a good call, Mouth. I was debating putting Jalen Waddle on there, but Kirk Cousins is terrible. Like he's terrible. That's what my wife was asking me today. She's like, "Is Kirk Cousins going to play?" I was like, "He shouldn't. I mean, he's going to get a job somewhere, but Kirk Cousins is terrible." I think he was always pretty bad. Is there a chance that Kirk Cousins was just a compiler?
He was all right the last year or two in Minnesota, I thought, if I remember right. Maybe.
His numbers were okay. But yeah, they just we're just not going to know. We're just not going to know about these quarterback situations, especially in Dynasty. That's why I'm always going to err on the side it's probably going to be dog shit.
Tell me everything.
Okay, they were both here. They were both inside me. Eduardo was in my mouth and Luther was in my butt.
Oh my God, no, don't tell me everything. What? No, what? Damn it, Bonnie. Eduardo who?
Sanchez.
Holy shit, tell us more.
Then Luther went in Eduardo's butt for a while.
Tell us less. Tell us less.
Then they both completed on each other. I was left out of the finale.
We're going to hit you guys with the intro, and then when we get back, we're going to get through Blake's list, and Chaz has his list. He couldn't make the show tonight, so stay tuned. giving up on JJ McCarthy?
Yeah, I never was on him. I never thought he should have been drafted as high as he was. I don't know. I never understood the hype coming out of Michigan. Like he was carried by his team, his running backs. I never got it really.
Miles says Galladay, by the way, he's a perfect example as to why Stafford a Hall of Famer and Eli is absolutely not. Stafford made Galladay a lot of money. Eli ran him out of the NFL. Blake, is this an example, like he said, is this correct, or is it a combination of Galladay running himself out of the league? Because I don't know if you saw, it was a really epic like training camp video of Kenny Galladay running through like OTA like drills, and they had everyone else run the drill, and he's just like literally like lollygagging it. It's like the guy at work that like doesn't get paid anymore for being faster or like doing the job faster and just like sucking, like literally just like if you had a guy like scanning your like bagging your groceries and you're just sitting there waiting on him, he's just like going really slow. So Galladay got paid. The problem is he still didn't get that whole contract because they cut his ass. So was this an Eli problem? Was this a Galladay problem, or was it a combination of both?
I think it was probably an Eli problem. He was really bad at the end there, from what I remember.
He was really bad. He hung on a little too long.
What happened to Galladay though? Like I just remember him getting cut after he got paid that fucking bag. Like I don't remember exactly why, but I mean obviously he was ass.
I was all about Galladay that year too because he was the only show in town. If I recall, he was about a 7th round pick, and they paid him a lot of money, and he had like 4 touchdowns and 600 yards, and he got hurt, and then he didn't play the rest of the year. But it was really bad. Like he was like wide receiver 35 points per game while he was playing. And CD says Quinn Ewers. He's talking about Quinn Ewers for the quarterback of the Dolphins. What are your thoughts on Quinn Ewers?
Terrible. Even in college, he really wasn't. He wasn't that impressive in college, and he was getting so much like shit. Like he was getting a lot of praise in college, and I never really saw it. He had games where he looked like a pro quarterback, but like overall, it was not that great.
I think Quinn Ewers is the trash of the earth. I think he's one of the worst quarterbacks I've seen. When I was scouting, I forget who I was scouting. It would have been Xavier Worthy. I think he was paired with him the last year Worthy was there, or it was whoever else was coming out. I wasn't really watching Quinn Ewers' film. I was watching the wide receivers film coming out, and I just noticed every deep ball was underthrown, like horribly underthrown. I didn't like his decision making. He was not athletic. So I think Quinn Ewers is terrible. And I don't understand why they played Quinn Ewers at the end of the season over Zach Wilson, because Zach Wilson is really young. Zach Wilson, I feel like he just gets hated on. I don't like Zach Wilson. I think he's a prima donna little bitch. I think he was way overdrafted based on the one throw he made in this pro day. Like the list goes on. Like Zach, he's not a likable guy. He has a punchable face. Like name it about Zach Wilson. But I think Zach Wilson deserves a chance because he is probably 23 years old. He's like Anthony Richardson's age, right? Like at some point we got to just. I know he's a bust. But like Zach Wilson. Right, and that another good point. Yeah, but like Zach Wilson is only a bust because the Jets drafted him at 2. You get what I'm saying? If he should have been a 4th round pick. If he was a 4th round pick, would we be calling him a bust? We'd be like, okay, we don't know what he is. Because he wouldn't have had the opportunity to bust on that awful, awful franchise with that awful team, with that awful offensive line. So I would definitely have played him. Quinn Ewers, no. Jason says Bears are fucking coming. Need to make some defensive moves. That team is dangerous. We're very dangerous. Blake, you're a so let's get Blake's take on this one because Blake is a Packers fan. I'm a Bears fan, but again, as you know, I'm not like you're a Packers fan. I'm not that level of Bears fan. You know, you've heard me enough. You know, I'm not like Ray. I'm not like some of these other Bears fans. I'm not like J-Bob with the Eagles. I'm very reasonable. So, are you scared of the Bears? Who are you scared of more, the Bears or the Lions?
The Bears, 100,000%. The Lions.
Is it Ben Johnson? Is it Caleb?
It's both, but I mean, think about how bad we thought the Vikings were. The Vikings and Lions had the same record. Like, I'm not really worried about the Lions. And even before the season started, I was saying I don't think the Lions will make the playoffs, losing both their coordinators. And throughout the season, there was times where I was like, well, damn, that might have been a fucking terrible take, but it ended right. So. Yeah, definitely the Bears, definitely Ben Johnson, definitely Caleb. I mean, Yeah.
I'm going to ask you this. Why I have to do a shot. I do a shot and a beer because we reached our goal. You know, man of my word. And I want to do it too because it's fun. It's very fun. It's a good time. Did Caleb? So Drake May did not play. I know the matchups are really tough. All 4 matchups: Seattle in the Super Bowl, Houston, Denver, even the Chargers. Really good defenses. Did Drake May so? Do you come out liking Caleb more than Drake May just based on the postseason? Because Caleb only played 2 games, but you saw the game up close and personal against your Packers. And Caleb has that gene. He played pretty well. In the Rams game, he had a couple turns, but he played good enough to win that game. And Caleb definitely outplayed. It's crazy to say Caleb outplayed Drake May in the postseason because Drake May went to the Super Bowl, but Caleb outplayed Drake May in the postseason. So do you come out thinking differently about these 2 players? Who do you want, Caleb or Drake May?
I think I'm honestly not even trying to be a hater. I think I'm still taking Drake, but Caleb definitely has that Mahomes level of what the fuck did I just see, level of playmaking. So and Drake, I mean, he doesn't really have that, I don't think, but he's more all around than Caleb as of right now, I think. If that makes sense.
I think Caleb has a higher ceiling, which it's not because the player, it's because Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
Right? I'm telling you, Josh McDaniels is going to get another job somewhere. It's going to be a bad decision for him to go to be a head
I
coach.
don't think Josh McDaniels is trying to leave, bro.
He'll get another job somewhere where Ben Johnson, I've said it a million times, your franchise quarterback coach and Sean McVay, Ben Johnson seems to be in that. But he won't be there for 8 years like Ben Johnson will. You know what I mean? That's the difference.
Lagging a little bit, bro.
I know that we're gonna have Ben Johnson. That marriage is gonna be going on for as long as Caleb is playing, as long as Ben Johnson stays the head coach. We're Josh McDaniels won't be there for that long. These guys always move, bro.
You're lagging a little bit, but I don't even know.
Sorry, having some issues.
I was too worried about the lag.
You still me?
I thought it was my shit, but I think it's you.
Oh. No. Let me hold on. My iPad on. I'll try Wi-Fi. See, so Miles said we will talk next week about Malik Willis on the Dolphins.
I agree with that.
I think so. I don't think I like it for Jalen Waddle, but is that a good spot? Or would you rather have Malik Willis or would you rather have Kyler Murray?
I mean, I saw Malik up close, and I mean, I'm a big fan of Malik. I hope he does good wherever he goes. But I mean, I would honestly say Kyler's probably a better starter than him because I mean, we don't know what Malik is as a starter, really. I mean, other than spot starts.
All right, we're having issues.
Good,
we're
man,
having
I think.
issues. Hold on. Here, I'm gonna remove you real quick. I'm gonna see if it gets better. I don't know if it's me or you. Let me see. I'm gonna be able to see after this. Sorry, boys. Give us a second here. Give us a second. Now I think we're good. I'm going to play a clip while I try to figure this out, and we'll get to everyone's questions in a second.
Say somebody put a gun to your head. Said, do you want your baby to be lighter or darker? What would you choose?
Why is someone holding a gun to my head
It's
and
a
asking me
hypothetical.
what shade I would prefer my son to be?
I don't know. See,
Why is he putting a gun to her head?
he wants to find out what your preference is. So you're walking down the street with Will, and he snatches you into the backseat of the car, and now he's got a gun to your head. You want a lighter or darker baby? What shade? What shade?
Get away from me.
What color is the guy holding the gun?
He's mocha, right down the middle.
Right down the middle.
50-50. You want it lighter or darker?
I would say on the lighter side.
All right. Here I'm good. Let's see. Miami will suck in a 17-game season. Miami sucks in any game season you want to give them. Should the Raiders take Crosby to put an offense or defensive players around Mendoza? They're gonna trade. I think. What's up, GT? Shout out GT. I think they should trade Max Crosby and rehaul everything because they're gonna be awful next year, regardless of Mendoza. I think we need to rehaul the whole roster there because that division's so tough, and it's just the best situation ever for them to tank one more year. Blake, I think we might be better now. So,
All right, cool.
you think the Raiders should trade Crosby and just rehaul, like you just overhaul is the word, that entire team, because that division is a monster, dude. Bo Nix and Sean Payton. Harbaugh now having a good offensive coordinator with him, and Justin Herbert, who proved a lot to me this year. And then Mahomes is not going anywhere.
How old is Crosby? Do you know?
28.
I mean, I feel like it's one of those situations where, like, if they wait, they're not going to get as much as they can right now. So if you're going to do it now, type shit.
That's what I'm saying. You can get two first. Mouth, yeah, your Mouth's in the show. Next week we are going to be doing a bunch of free agency stuff. So maybe on Tuesday if you want to double dip after your show, or we'll figure it out. Talk to you tonight in the Discord. Mouth that's right up his alley. He's more of a real life guy. As you know, I'm a fantasy guy. I'm every guy's fantasy because I'm kind of bi-curious. So I don't come off as gay. I don't have a lot of people that are like, dude, this guy's gay. Like, but if you know me long enough, you might have some questions about if I got drunk enough, what would I do? Do I come off as gay, Blake?
No.
Not at all?
You say gay shit, but I know you're not gay, so it's whatever.
How do you know? How do you know I'm not gay?
I guess I don't.
I have a pretty hot wife. She is pretty hot. You can see her right there. That's her. She's hot. Giant cans.
Your hands are what makes it possible. Your shoulder pads are hard and stiff. Your hands are tender and they can move and caress the ball. that's kind of gay, but hey.
I do agree with Mouth though about Malik going to the Dolphins. I mean, I was saying a minute ago, but I mean, Halfley being the head coach, they signed somebody in our organization to be their GM. So I mean, I feel like it just makes sense. I mean,
Green Gay Packers. That's a good name.
wow.
See, as a Bears fan, I love Aaron Rodgers. I love Aaron Rodgers, so like he did own the Bears. I hate Brett Favre. Brett Favre's a piece of shit. I think he's the most overrated quarterback to ever walk. I mean, the guy, he's got the most interceptions in NFL history for a reason, folks. And they're typically they were atrocious picks, forced interceptions. Right? Aaron Rodgers has a fourth of the interceptions that Brett Favre has for his career.
It's sad to see Aaron, like, basically since he went to the Jets, and even really like the last year with Green Bay, he's just the amount of picks he threw in those years. Like, it's sad, really, because before that he was just surgical out there. He really took.
Did you see the picture of the next Super Bowl, like the graphic, and it said it looks like Bears versus Jags. I also saw someone say Bears and Bills. I'm hoping it's the Bears. That'd be pretty cool. And that actually makes sense, though, because if you told me before this season it was Seattle versus the Patriots, dude, like Bears and Jags makes way more sense going into next year than what I just told you happened this year.
I'll say this. Everybody wants to, look at the colors and of it, all that. The Super Bowl next year is on Valentine's Day. Jordan Love will be there.
God, it's really on Valentine's Day. Jordan Love sucks.
No. Jordan
I'm
Love,
just kidding.
And we have a corner, Carrington Valentine, Kentucky boy. We will be there. Book it.
I don't think he sucks. I think I'm usually the Jordan Love defender in the show, as you know, because a lot of people hate on Jordan Love. So, like, as you know, I'm a realist, man. I'm not a Bears fan. I'm a realist, and they happen to be my team. That's the way I would describe it. And Jordan Love's fine. Like, I think Jordan Love is a Dak Prescott. His upside is Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott gets a lot of shit, man. Dak Prescott's good. He's just on the Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, I never really thought about it like that, but now that you say that, I mean, yeah, I mean, I do think that Jordan Love gets a lot of hate though for no reason. Like, I think
it's because people don't like the Packers. They don't like the Packers, and just look at the comparisons, man. Dak's a bigger bodied guy, but they're both, pocket passers plus, right? I'm talking about more Dak when he was younger. Dak had 3 straight seasons of 6 rushing touchdowns. So pocket passers plus, very accurate. They go on these hot streaks, right? Jordan Love, when he gets hot, is really good. The problem is when Jordan Love is cold, it's not great.
Yeah, he definitely
know
makes
this.
some terrible decisions, and I've always been really skeptical of his decisions sometimes. But I mean, yeah, like you said, when he's hot, when it's Toyota-thon time, Jordan Love is elite.
Is that right? I guess we're going to see. I don't mind him. You know, it also helps when you sit behind Aaron Rodgers for multiple years, and I like that. Mal says, beginning of the year, I listened back to my before the year prediction show. I called Bears to win, Packers make playoffs, Lions to miss. Now, that was the Lions to miss the playoffs was a very unpopular pick. Vegas probably had it at minus 250, I would guess, miss the playoffs. And even I thought I knew they would take a step back. I thought they'd take more of a step back offensively, which points per game they did not, but I test they did because they had more turnovers and it wasn't as smooth of an operation, if you will. But their defense last year, they were so beat up and they actually stepped up for the most part besides the playoffs. But I don't understand how the Lions, they had their destiny in their own hands. I don't understand how they missed the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Ben Johnson really was that big of a, difference for him. That's all I really know to say.
Ben Johnson's the GOAT. Thank you, Jay. My dude, Jay. Valued Patreon member. And speaking of that, give Max Max Crosby the Hawks. Let's not do that. Let's just give them another championship. While we're at it, though, I want to shout out to the Patreon bros. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate Blake over here, my media manager, who really hooks it up and makes my job a lot easier on these graphics. I'm kind of Amish, so I need all the help I can get. I can host a fucking hell of a show, man. I can talk all fucking day. I'm funny. I'm the best. You agree I'm the best, right?
Yeah, 100%. The man.
But I'm terrible at these other things. That's hence why the show has taken so long to get off the ground. Anyway, I appreciate all you guys. On top of supporting your boys here, you get a lot of other good perks. Access to the Discord community, which is a great place. The community is awesome. Blake, Mouth, among others, Jay. Got a lot of awesome people in there. Dakota, a couple new additions. It's just a great place, great chat. A lot of good football talk, a lot of good other talk, a lot of positivity, which I love to preach. Community fantasy leagues. We still have 2 spots open for the Dynasty League. Blake, you're going to be in that one. It's going to be awesome. Guest appearances on the pod. You want to be sitting where Blake is sitting. We love having fans on the show. Free merchandise giveaways. I give away this hat. One of these hats. Blake's rocking it as well every single month. I got shirts coming here in the next month or so. There's going to be $20 for the shirts. That's including me shipping it to you. But rep the channel here. And also access to my bets when I place them. We had a rough Super Bowl, 1-2 on our bets in the Super Bowl, but still 96-58 on the year. We're 205 and 125 all time. These are all even odds bets. I put all my slips in there, Blake, as you know. It's no fraud bullshit. I put my money where my mouth is. Every year. I haven't had a losing year on my plays since I started the channel. And I don't foresee it happening anytime soon. I really don't think so.
Yeah, I really ate shit during the Super Bowl. I really just needed a Shaheed Tutty, and that would have really made my whole Super Bowl, but here we are. So
yeah,
also,
here we
I
are.
apologize for my sound being shit. I don't really know how. I see people saying my sound shit. I don't really know what to do about that, so I'm sorry. I can't really.
It's just quiet.
I don't know.
You also are just a soft-spoken individual. It's fine. Not everyone has a booming voice. I have a booming voice. And actually, before we get to comments,
streaming shit, so my bad.
We'll get you. You got to get used to it though, because you're gonna be on quite a bit of shows here for college stuff. I want to talk a little college before the end of the show, but I got to grab a beer. So while I do that, I'm gonna play a long, awesome clip that I have here. That I don't want to leave Blake on his own. Let's see. What do I have here? Do I have a long one? I know I have one that I really like. God damn it. There it is. There it is.
If you don't have
Jay Quellen.
I got you.
No Jay Quellen here?
Do you mean Jacqueline?
Okay, so that's how it's gonna be. Balake. Where is Balake at? Yes, sir.
My name's Blake.
Are you out of your goddamn mind? Do you want to go to war, Balake?
No.
D Nice. Is there a D Nice?
Do you mean Denise?
Son of a bitch. A Ron. Where are you? Where is A Ron right now?
Here.
You know, I said it like 4 times, so why didn't you say it the first time I said Aaron?
Because it's pronounced Aaron?
Son of a bitch!
If you had to guess how many times I've been called Balake in my life, really just in high school, what would you say? Over, under 50?
Over. Because your generation, right? Are you 26, 27, 28?
26.
26. God, to be 26 again. Ugh. You can still get erections, get carded for fucking beers. Don't get me wrong. I can still get erections too. I have some pills for that, bro.
Bro, I'll get carded no matter what because I look so young.
Do you still get erections?
Oh, yeah.
You wake up. Are you still having wet dreams?
No.
Oh, I think he is. All right, let me find my spot in the chat here. Jay says, Caleb, without a doubt. Here we are. So I don't think it's without a doubt in terms of the Drake May thing, but it's narrowing. It's just funny how it went from Jaden Daniels for sure, and people were saying Jaden Daniels is a top 5 quarterback in the league after his rookie year, which is just wild. He played like that, and then it was Drake May, and then watch, next year it'll be Caleb. And who knows? Maybe Bo Nix, and I don't think this is possible, but maybe Bo Nix ends up being the best quarterback of that class. I mean, who knows, dude? Like, it's these quarterbacks, like Bo Nix, it's pretty good. Do you like Bo Nix?
I think, yeah. I mean, Bo Nix, I don't know. I'm kind of, I don't know. I honestly thought Stidham wasn't that big of a downgrade, but we see that was wrong. But also the weather and shit, but I don't know.
Let's see. Jay, Genty and Bowers are going to get busy in fantasy in 2026. Which one do you like more for fantasy next year? We're assuming they're going to draft Mendoza. They have Kubiak in there. I assume that we're going to have Bowers at that McBride spot, right? The 2-3 turn. So pick 24, pick 25. Genty is most certainly a first-round pick. He'll be a top 14 guy. So let's just say that they're both, Genty's at the 1-2 turn, so ADP is 12 or 13, and you have Bowers at pick 24, 25, the 2-3 turn. Who do you like more?
I think I'm going to have to go with Bowers, personally, bro. I mean, I think that's going to be Mendoza's, go-to. So, Mendoza's going to
He's so good.
Yeah.
He's so good. I mean, you saw the one-handed catch was insane, the lefty catch where the announcer's like, it was incomplete, and it was a catch. But let's not forget that Brock Bowers, first game of the season, when he was actually the only game he was healthy, he got hurt in the it was like the 4 minutes left in the third quarter. He had like 8 for 90 in that game, 7 for 90. Then he gets hurt, and then he plays with the injury. Then he comes back, clearly hurt, and then gets shut down. So that entire year's a wash. I'm just telling you, like, and also the situation is just absolutely horrible with Geno Smith. Yeah. We didn't think it'd get any worse. It was like it couldn't get worse based on the quarterbacks that they had before. They were bad, right? Aiden O'Connell and who the fuck was this? Gardner Minshew. But Geno Smith was worse for Bowers, right? And just as bad as the other guys, but it was worse for Bowers. But I'm throwing out that year, and I'm just going to look at the rookie year film when it comes to Brock Bowers, and that was elite film. Elite film. So, man, I'm all about both those guys, honestly. And it's crazy to say because, like, it doesn't seem like it should be a good spot because they're most certainly going to be last place in their division. They're most certainly going to be a bottom 5 team next year just because how could they not be? Mendoza's a rookie quarterback, bad situation. But I feel like certain teams we love because the concentration of targets and touches is elite, right? It's not spread out. And, like, who else do they have? And, like, Genty is proven to be a beyond 350 touch workhorse. And the skill set, the wheel routes, just everything. He's sturdy. And then Bowers is that elite tight end. Like, I like Bowers. This year, I liked McBride. 2025, I like McBride over Bowers. I had it ranked like that. Next year, I'm going to have the flipped again, right? Because McBride will be the tight end 1 off the board. I'm going to definitely like Bowers over McBride.
I mean, we saw what Brock was capable of whenever they actually threw him the ball. Like, actually targeted him, focused on getting him the ball. Like, those crazy games. I mean, what was it, 3 touchdowns that one game against the Jags, I think? 2 touchdowns, 3, when he had 47, 44, or whatever it was. Like, I mean, yeah. I'm definitely in on Brock, for sure.
Miles getting boners again. He said since the diet, I woke up with them again. So he didn't have them for a while, and now, or not. Well, he didn't wake up with them. Now he's waking up with boners again. I'm not one of those guys that wakes up with a heart on in the morning wood. I don't, but Miles just is funding this operation by himself. Get freaking crunk. So I have to do a beer and a shot, as I will. Let's get to another comment so I can pour this up. This is a good one you're gonna like. Jordan Love throws a pick or doesn't show up in crunch time. Just a regular guy. What is your take on just a regular guy?
Is it not? It's basically Dak, like you said.
GT, please. The Packers' proper insult name is Government Cheese. Uh-oh. I'm a hipster now. Stash and sweater is hipster gay. This is a Big Lebowski sweater, bro. This is the sweater. This is actually the Big Lebowski sweater. So I don't think I'm a hipster. I really don't. The stash is just me being gay. It actually is me being gay. But I don't think I'm a hipster, man. But it's fine. You can call me hipster. Hipsters are okay. If I was drinking PBR, I'm drinking Coors Light, but I also drink whatever I get for free. I have my brother-in-law works for a beer distributor, and he just gives me all the expired beer, which is always good, like for like 6 months to a year after the expiration date. Doesn't taste as good after a certain amount of time, but I drink a lot of beer, so like I'm gonna take fucking free beer, bro.
Let me ask you something, bro.
Yeah.
Out of all the college tape you've started watching, who are you high on so far?
Michael Trigg, tight end from Baylor. Yeah, dude. So he was listed at 220, which is wild, but I saw he's 240, undersized tight end, almost like a Chickaconquo, like that. We'll get to all the comments in a second, guys. Keep on pumping them in. I like him a lot just based on where I saw he's ranked. I am as like tight end 2, tight end 3 this year, and he's like tight end 6 in a lot of drafts. Again, tight end's such a hard position to evaluate. Like Sam Laporta was freaking tight end 7 coming out of that draft. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just a hard position to evaluate. But I'll give you a running back that Emmett Johnson, dude, from Nebraska.
From Nebraska. I don't know if you remember. I was saying something about him. I think it might have been in the live stream or in the Discord one. I don't remember which one it was, but I was saying, remember the name Emmett Johnson back in the day.
He's an interesting case because he's 5'11", 200. So you could call that undersized, but I mean, Bucky Irving kind of broke the mold. No, Bucky Irving didn't necessarily stay healthy this year, but I don't know, dude. I feel like the dude reminds me of, this is a kind of crazy name to throw out there. Curtis Martin, dude. I see some Curtis Martin stuff. He's the best. I'll tell you this. He's the best receiving back of the class. And like, we're talking about comparing him to guys that are 180 pounds, right? So he has that. He's the best receiving back. He's the shiftiest. He has the best feet and he has the best vision. Now, Jeremiah Love is really explosive, and you can give me all these names. And like, I still have to do my rankings. I did some I can't talk. Some early rankings of the guys, and sorry, I went out to music bingo tonight. I'm a little lit. This is gonna help too, and I want to put him at 1, dude.
Preliminary. I got it.
Yes, that's the word. Thank you. Preliminary. Sometimes it just doesn't work, man. I do this shit for a living, but I gotta just like stop doing that one. I want to have him at 1. I really want to have him at 1, and I know it's crazy with Love and how like Love is that dude. Love is like a Jahmyr Gibbs-esque player, right?
Yeah.
I just have some questions about some of his vision choices, and I like to go bold, and like when I said Quentin Johnston I said it. He was my wide receiver 8 of that class, right? Now I could give you a lot of my misses. I had misses too. I'm a guy that puts receipts on my shit. And I didn't have anyone on the show. Everyone said Quentin Johnston's 1. Everyone around, I never saw worse than the wide receiver 3 in that class. I had him wide receiver 8. Now, I was planting my flag on the fact that I knew Quentin Johnston was probably a bust, but I knew he was going to be a really slow burn. And obviously, if you get drafted 16th, 17th, 18th overall as a wide receiver, you better produce year 1. And I knew he was not going to because the guy can't catch. It's a big problem for a wide receiver. So I want to plant my flag on Emmett, man. I think he's Emmett Johnson. He reminds me of Curtis. He reminds me of Curtis, man. It was I love him, and I see some Bucky Irving in his film as well. But he's much bigger than Bucky.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of him. I've been kind of watching him over the last 2 years or so.
Jason says Chicago Bears are right on their way. Jordan Love does stink. $55 million a year. He can care less. He doesn't stink. I mean, he doesn't stink. I would much rather have Caleb just based on age and.
Bro, like Jordan Love is top 10, top 15.
No, he's probably top 10. I mean, top 15. Yeah. Don't even snoop down to that. He's at worst like 12.
I'm just
at worst 12.
To the people that are really haters, but like, bro, people act like he's trash. I don't really understand it. I mean, I know people are just hating, talking shit, whatever. But like, Jordan gets a lot of hate, bro, from what I see. Not even just in the Discord or whatever. Like, just all around. I see it on Instagram, Twitter, whatever it is. Like, people really are down on him, bro. Cheers. Yeah.
Whew. I guess my biggest issue is Matt LaFleur is a great coach, and he's tied to Matt LaFleur, but you can also say the other end of the spectrum, he's got no receivers. He's got no weapons. So don't those counteract to just having a decent situation?
Like, Jordan Love's stats would be crazy without the drops, bro.
And he's got a little nicked up. He's got a little nicked up, too.
Yeah.
Right? He had a knee injury. Was it a knee injury 2 years ago? He played through?
Yeah, it was not this season, obviously, but the last season, yeah.
And then concussion. The Bears gave him a mild, a wacky concussion. Sorry about that one, buddy. You know what? Because of that, you probably lost Malik Willis. Because of that.
I mean, I'm happy for him though. I mean, he deserves it. We're gonna bring in Will Levis now and do the same thing. Fuck it.
Dude, why not? Or Zach Wilson. Bring in one of these guys. Matt LaFleur is a quarterback whisperer, baby. Mouse says, Dakota, you hate on Jordan Love, but Josh Allen is just Jordan Love in the AFC with less love and an MVP award. He didn't earn, right? Well, he earned the MVP, People hate Josh Allen, bro. What did Josh, is it because he has a hot girlfriend? Wife now, right?
Him and Herbert get a lot of hate, both with fucking bad bitches. So maybe bitch in there.
I don't necessarily think his wife's that hot. Like, she's hot, but Sean McVay's wife is definitely hotter. Have you seen Sean McVay's wife?
She's like fucking Croatian or some shit, ain't she?
Dude, she's a model. She's Croatian. She's a mom. She's awesome, dude. Sean McVay is doing his shit right. I love Sean McVay. Storey hates coaches, so I don't feel as bad about the Sean McVay take because it's like no matter who you are, unless you're Kyle Shanahan, he's gonna fucking hate on you. That's just what he does. So. All right, let's get back to the chat here. Let's see, where are we at? We're here. We got Hetzer in here. What's going on, Hetzer? That's the thing with someone like Jared Goff, too. When he's good, he's good. When he's bad, he's fucking bad. Let me just clear the air here. Jared Goff is probably a better on-time quarterback than Jordan Love. Right? Like, he's a little bit more polished. He's a total statue back there. The problem with Jordan Love is better at, like, off his spot throws. Jordan Love definitely has more juice than Jared Goff. So, like, as of this moment, I'd probably have Jared Goff ahead of Jordan Love. But Jordan Love has higher upside than Jared Goff. Like, you can't argue the other way because we've seen these games where Jared Goff is forced from his spot. And, remember the game against the Vikings, week 17, was it? That was championship week in fantasy. Jared Goff was god-awful, bro. God-awful because he can't fucking beat the blitz, man.
Even in Jordan Love's, like, really bad games, like, I feel we're still, like, in it, you know what I'm saying, in the game to win, maybe. In Jared Goff's bad games, they're probably getting fucking destroyed.
I like Jared Goff. I'll say this. Very, very happy for the guy coming off of, whenever you get traded like that, usually it's not a really good it doesn't work out for you, for your career. It doesn't. It really doesn't. But it worked out for him, and both teams won this trade. The Rams might have won the trade more, but you can't tell me the Lions didn't win that trade because the Lions have became, kind of the class of the NFC, just not in the playoffs. I still can't believe they lost that game against the Niners. That was Dan Campbell when Dan Campbell, just could not help himself and went for every fourth down. Like, they were the better team in that game. Would you agree?
Yeah, 100%.
Jordan Love can't be clutch, bear down. We know how to beat them up. You get a lot of hate being a. You know what? I will say this. You have a new ally in the Discord.
Yeah, I saw that.
In the Patreon. Professor Booty is a Packers fan. So now you actually have a fellow Packers fan in there. I think you're the only one. So maybe you guys can team up on some other clowns. That'd be cool. Mouth, by the way, NBA top 10 this week. Also, President Fat Ass Orange Child had to invade sports world, so Beast and I had to kick politics out the house. Yeah, I don't know if you heard about what Trump said about the skier, or it was a skier, when he said that he said he's an asshole. He needs to get out of the country. That's what these people say. Again, not talk too much politics, as you know, Blake. I mean, you watch. That's what I say. You watch this show. I am not a Democrat. I am not a Republican. I am a free thinker, right? I have my own opinions, and generally my opinion is that they both suck, and both sides are absolutely insane. And I can call out Trump when Trump is a kid, right? He's just an asshole. I agree with a lot of his politics, but I also agree with a lot of the liberals, their thoughts on like human rights, right? Like I am a person for the people, so I can be both. The point is, neither side thinks I can be both. They tell me I'm wrong because I can't side with both sides. I can't think that this is right and this is right. I better side with their side or I'm the enemy. Fuck that, bro. I've watched Star Wars enough to know what it is. Anakin Skywalker said it best. If you're not with me, you're my enemy. That's called insane. That's insanity. Fuck that. I can have my own fucking thoughts, bro. And
I don't. Politics suck, bro. I'll just stick to ball, stick to movies, whatever, music, and stay out of that shit.
it makes you're generally gonna have a much happier life if you do that.
Yeah, dude.
And it's like I can say two things at the same time. I can say that I don't like Trump as a person. I think he's an asshole. I can also say Bad Bunny is a joke, and America should not have a Spanish-speaking halftime show. So those two things are different,
done, bro. In my opinion, is literally shaved Vince McMahon bald. If you remember at WrestleMania.
Ooh, I do remember that.
Badass.
But did you hear about those things I said? One was a conservative take, and one was a liberal take.
Yeah.
I don't like them as a person, but I also don't think Bad Bunny should be on a fucking halftime show. So which am I? The point is I'm not either. I think they're all fucking idiots. Mic drop, bitch.
Two wings of the same bird.
GT, small bet, but I hit with AJ Barner anytime and first TD. Ooh, well, first TD was 18-1, I believe, GT. So let's go. That's money. AJ Barner was awful all the playoffs and the last 2 weeks of the regular season. Then he, of course, shows out. I wanted to bet his yards, man, 25.5. I chose Hunter Henry instead. I'll say this. Hunter Henry dropped that pass in the first quarter. That was a 15-yard gain. Bad throw by Drake May, though.
God, what a terrible Super Bowl, bro. Like,
it was bad. My dad said it was the worst one he can ever remember, and he's been watching like religiously for 40 years. Like since he was an adult, he's 57 years old. So like he wasn't talking about as when he was 8 years old because that's hard to like remember, but like as an adult, the worst Super Bowl he can ever remember. And I think it's the worst I've seen. I think the other one I would say would be that Peyton Manning game, Seahawks and Broncos, where that game was over. Remember the snap over the head?
Yeah.
That game was over in the first quarter, but at least you got to see like an all-time romping. Which this wasn't an all-time romping. It was 9-0 at half. Like, dude, 9-0. That's a soccer score, bro. And you actually like that because you fucking love soccer, you faggot. He does.
I watch that shit like every day.
Oh, I love you, Blake. Brock Bowers will be the safety blanket. He can get a lot of work, I think. And beyond a lot of work, like it's the combination with Bowers of a lot of work, the number one in the offense, which we know tight ends need to be the number one, number two option to be an elite tight end. But it's also that Brock Bowers is an elite talent, right? Like the problem with Sam Laporta the year after he had the tight end one finish is Sam Laporta is not an elite talent. He is not an elite talent. Brock Bowers is. And as much as I love Trey McBride, Brock Bowers is a much better player than Trey McBride. Much better might be a little aggressive, but like he's a better player, right?
Yeah, 100%.
They could both be good. I'm not drafting Trey McBride in the end of the first round. That's with quarterback questions, with Michael Wilson being a fucking thing. Like, and Marvin Harrison still has a draft capital.
So,
dude, no one's gonna have that year was fucking unreal, dude. And what we forget is that he had that year end of season, totals with the first 6 weeks, first 5 weeks with Kyler being pretty meh. It was a lot of 5 for 50s. It was always like 5 for 50, but the touchdowns weren't there. And it was just like, I think there was that stretch. I think it was week 5. It was Tucker Kraft was tight end 1. No, sorry. Ferguson was tight end 1. Tucker Kraft was tight end 2. And I think McBride was 10-3 after 5 weeks. And then he has an all-time, like, these other guys that have had the major reception seasons, specifically Zach Ertz, didn't have the touchdowns, right? And like he ended up pairing 8 touchdowns with, was it 120 catches? It was some crazy number. A lot of yards and wild stuff. Don't you remember before the year, though, everyone saying Trey McBride can't catch touchdowns? Remember that? It was like he doesn't catch touchdowns.
Last year, 0 or 1 touchdown or something? 0?
He had 1, and then he had a fumble recovery in the end zone for a touchdown, but also going back to, I think he went to Colorado State. He had like 6 touchdowns in his career in college. So it wasn't just a pro thing. But like, what I said, my defense on Trey McBride this year, why I love Trey McBride going into this year was Andre Johnson also was a guy that was hamstrung by touchdown equity. And he had like 4 years in Andre Johnson, by the way, all-time player. He had like, it was, I think, 4 touchdowns on average per year in his first 4 years. So he scored like 15 touchdowns his first 4 years. Everyone was like, oh, Andre Johnson can't score touchdowns. And then he rattles off like 4 straight years of 8+ touchdowns. Like, Andre Johnson never comped as a guy that couldn't catch.
Never forget.
Yeah, but like Andre Johnson didn't comp as a guy that couldn't catch touchdowns. It was just situational and things just didn't work his way. Trey McBride is a tight end. Tight ends catch touchdowns. It's one thing they do. Yeah, so it wasn't like it was his fault. It was Kyler Murray's fucking fault. And, of course, when Kyler Murray gets out of there, you get Dwayne Haskins, who's on the fucking backup quarterback commercials, which all these guys are crushing, by the way. If you're on a Mitch Trubisky's going to have a moment. I promise you.
Yeah.
Fucking Mitch Trubisky. GT says 3 inches strong, better than 8 inches soft. They have pills for that, though. And can't you do, like, a thing? You know how, those, like, the little things you have in plays where you have, like, the little thing with all the strings, puppets, it's like a puppet thing. You can puppet your dick 8 inches soft. Can you have a puppet master when you're fucking a chick? Doesn't really go in, but like something like that,
Hell yeah.
I feel like modern medicine's pretty good, dude. 8 inches is pretty lofty though, dude. A lot of girls can't handle 8 inches, dude. I mean, I know this for example. I'm only 6. I'll be honest. Full disclosure, 6 inches, and it's rather thick. But like, I've had girls that not saying they can't handle, but they can't handle multiple rounds. I'm a multiple round guy, dude. I want to go fucking multiple. So, what are you sipping on there? Is that Mountain Dew?
Mm-hmm.
Original, not Code Red.
No, just original.
Sweater kills it, but sweater and stash combo is hipster. Add a 30-year-old road bike, and you'll be up for hipster of the year. Hey, man, I can take it. Bring it on, boys. Bring it on. I'll take it off. You want me to take off the sweater? There you go. I am sick of these comments. I'll get my fucking razor on air and shave my mustache, but I can't. I need facial hair. I can't have nothing. I feel like a baby, Let's see. Mouth. I think Allen has done more in the regular season, but has come up short more often in the playoffs. Love his 1 win and 3 losses in the playoffs. He had Niners beat and threw a bad pick. Yeah, Allen has not come up short in the playoffs, guys. Blake, tell him. It's not him.
Every time Josh Allen, he did play not up to his, level against the Broncos, but every time he's lost in the playoffs, he's not to blame for it.
No. All right, we're going to – Blake, I know you have stuff to do in the morning, so before you get off, I want you to give me your 3 names of players you're giving up on, and then I'll finish the show solo. So we're still going to do players you're giving up on in Dynasty and also just in real life. So give me your 3 names. Go one at a time.
For Dynasty, I'm going to say Lamar, number 3 ranked. And the only reason I'm picking Lamar is because he's 28, 29. I mean – coming off the injury-riddled season, I mean, new coach. If he loses his athleticism, it's not going to be the same Lamar that we're used to. And I'm kind of afraid of that. I had him this year. He was hurt all year. Kind of fucked my shit up, so I got a bad taste in my mouth from that. So I'm kind of out on Lamar.
I guess it's one of those things where he does not comp as a guy that's going to be. Although the counter to this is he's got the highest passer rating of all time in the NFL.
Yeah.
But I'm saying he doesn't comp as a guy that can get by just on this pocket passing ability. And I feel like his numbers as a passer are inflated by his physical ability. And if he starts losing that...
They have to play him honest because of his athleticism type shit.
Yeah, and if he loses that, now what are we talking about? We're talking about an aging... scrambling quarterback that, you know, and let's be honest, we saw his passing numbers dip precipitously, dude, when he was hurt. Because why?
he
He
wasn't
couldn't.
running.
It wasn't a threat to run as much. He couldn't throw on the run as well, and it just wasn't the same player. So I do still think Lamar has a couple prime years left. But I think in your take of quarterback 3, possibly quarterback 2 in some dynasty formats, why not get rid of him now? Because this is different than the guys I'm talking about, where it's like these guys are just like cut bait, like Deebo Samuel, like just you're not going to get shit for him. But in terms of Lamar, maybe sell him high to a contending team and get all you can and just retool your roster. All right, who's your number 2?
My next one is A.J. Brown, number 17. I think he's 28, 29 also. I'm not, you know, as long as he's on the Eagles, I'm not, you know, buying into that because if we saw what it was this year, like, yeah, he will have good games. He is a, you know, top 5 talented receiver in the league. But I can't trust him as long as he's on the Eagles still with Jalen Hurts as his quarterback. So I'm probably out on A.J. Brown.
Yeah, and we don't know what his landing spot will be because it's not great right now with Jalen Hurts. And if he moves, like, who's to say the grass is greener? You know, if he goes to the Browns, Raiders, Titans again, Jets. I'm just looking at some, like, shitty situations, like, with questionable quarterback carousels. I get it. And also, like, does he have that thing? Because he was bitching when they were winning, right? And, like, I don't like that. I don't like that.
He was getting the ball damn near.
he's bitching no matter what. That guy's just a bitch. And I would never say that to A.J. Brown in person, although I'll say this. I am much bigger than A.J. Brown, believe it or not. He is 6 foot 220. I am 6 foot 250. Bring it on A.J. Brown. I'll beat your ass.
A.J. Brown was bigger than that. I ain't gonna lie. I thought he was like 6'3".
220 is huge.
Yeah.
No, he's only 6 foot, maybe 6'1". No, he's short. I'm much bigger than A.J. Brown. I'm actually Derrick Henry size.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm not, but I am. I'm saying Derrick Henry's 250, right?
Yeah.
I'm fucking 250. So what? What up? All right, who's your third name?
My last one is George Kittle, number 12, tight end. I mean, coming off the Achilles tear, he's already like 31 or 2, I think it was. I mean, I know he has the chemistry with Brock Purdy, but that's not a good sign going forward in Dynasty, especially with a guy that old coming off of Achilles tear. So I'm out on George Kittle, even though I know he's one of the better tight ends that you could get, but it's just not a good sign with the tear.
George Kittle was my number 5, so we stopped at DK Metcalf, my 4th. So George Kittle is my number 5. He's going to be 33 years old in October, so essentially 33 at the very beginning of the season. I don't expect him to be back till week 10. Is that about fair?
I was seeing something. He was on McAfee last week during the Super Bowl, and I'm pretty sure he was saying he's going to be like ready really early.
Well, Aaron Rodgers also said he was going to come back the year after he tore his Achilles if they were in the playoffs. So, like,
yeah, you're right.
If he was 25, maybe. I don't think he's coming back that early. And
there's no need to rush him back that early, anyways.
Tight end 12 in Dynasty. I mean, there's a lot. They're gonna bring some other weapons in there. Pearsall's there. Is he really there? But like they have other guys, and it's just like, oh, Kittle has an injury history. You know, let's be honest. He has an injury history, and he has stayed relatively healthy the last couple of years, which is nice. But coming off an Achilles now at 33 years old at tight end, now he's going into uncharted territory. And that's the issue. And maybe he becomes more of a touchdown or bust kind of guy. The problem with George Kittle is he's such an elite blocker. He's so integral to that team. And, like, they're not going to stop having him. Like, Kyle Shanahan doesn't give a shit about his players' health. We've seen this. So, like, you think they're going to all of a sudden stop putting him in the trenches blocking? Like, he's just ripe for another injury. And that's why I had him as well. I'm a little trepidatious about putting Kittle on there because George Kittle is that dude. Yeah, George Kittle is a monster. Physically, mentally, love George Kittle, but that's too rich for me, man. I would definitely sell him tight end 12, and I could see someone having the same exact argument that he's a buy though, right? Yeah. Because tight end 12, you're in a win now situation. I could see both ends of it, but like in my perspective, I'm getting out from under an old tight end and get in with the new man. Give me Harold Fannin. Give me a guy like that. I know they're not evenly matched in terms of dynasty, but it makes a lot of sense. You know what Harold Fannin ran in the 40?
4 or 5 or 6, right?
4.71.
Oh.
4.71, and he's undersized. He's 240 pounds. He's 6'3". So I'm just saying, like, we got to get rid of some of this shit about 40 times because Harold Fannin played at a small school. Yeah, he had all the production in the world. Number one, he had the most receptions of any player, not just tight ends in college football in 2024. But we got to get rid of this, like, because technically that's a pretty slow player based on his size for that position. But Harold Fannin is a good player, and we need to get rid of this, like, oh, this guy's slow, because like does he play slow?
Yeah, I mean, it's different game speed and all that bullshit. But I wanted to ask you if, like, let's just say a Kittle were to retire, you know, like at the end of the season, like, are they sticking with Tonjes to be the new number one? Or are they going after somebody else, drafting somebody? I mean, what's your opinion there?
I think they stick with Tonjes because Tonjes, man, he was a slow burn because he was not exactly a rookie. I think this was his 4th year. I think this was year 4. Last year was year 4 for Tonjes.
College. That's kind of
no. He's a nobody. But just go back to the first game of the year, the game-winning catch against the Seahawks that like throw up that Brock Purdy had. It was literally just threw it up in the back of the end zone. Tonjes beasted it, and then every time he had the opportunity, Jake Tonjes fucking showed up. I love Jake Tonjes. I think they have a lot of holes in that defense in particular is rough, dude. Aging and rough, and they lost their coordinator, so they need to really, really revamp that defense. Tonjes is fine. Kyle Shanahan's also, I'm not saying he's a tight end whisperer, but like I feel like he's proven that he doesn't need an elite tight end. Like he can make it work with whoever. All right, Blake, you're the man, dude. Thank you for coming on. I can't wait to do our NFL draft coverage with you. And everyone give Blake a round of applause. You guys all know him from the Discord. You know him from the chat almost every single night. I know him as my media manager. Super integral to what we're doing around here. I appreciate him more than he knows. Love you, man. I'm going to finish the show off by myself. You got some stuff to do in the morning, so get some sleep. And we'll see you this weekend.
All right. Thanks for having me on, dude. Appreciate it.
Later, buddy. What a guy. Brick Flair, Blake, my media manager. What a fucking guy. Let's see where we're at in the chat. And I want to finish the show solo. So see if I can do this. I don't know. I'm pretty bad at this. So I'll go back to GT's 3 inches strong, better than 8 inches soft comments. Pretty interesting. Dakota ripping on me for my sweater, which I had now taken off. So let's see. Where are we at? Mout says, join Discord and Patreon. Give us your money and you will make more money. Damn straight. And you're supporting the community, but you will make money. Definitely in fantasy. And then the easiest way to just say you will make money is I can just show you how you'll make money, because you will make money, and ask anyone that's in the channel, has been on the channel, placing the bets. If you do sports bet, if you're not sports betting, then just place my picks and you'll make money. It makes games more interesting. 96 and 58. These are all prop bets. I don't really do lines. Minus 120 or better. They're all even odds bets. I don't do those like alt lines or any of that bullshit. Anything over minus 120, you get to the 125s, minus 130. I don't do those bets. That's how I keep it fair, boys. We essentially won about 30 units. If you were doing 1 unit, I did 5 units in every play. So I won about 150 units this year just on my bets. I do parlays as well. I can start posting the parlays in the Discord, but I like to keep it on single bets because I feel like they're much. Hey, come on. Sorry, my dog's doing some crazy shit. So appreciate you, Mouth. Also, Downtown Sports Boys, link in the description. Support them. The AFC has let us down back-to-back Super Bowls. It appears the NFC is the better conference. I still think the AFC has more talent at quarterback, but the NFC has definitely been the cream of the crop here. GT says, "What are your shit?" This is for Blake. What are your soccer teams, MLS and EP? I don't think he watches MLS. GT. I think he's a Manchester fan. I don't want to put words in the guy's mouth, but might be that. Dakota, will we be able to trade picks for Dynasty startup draft? Yeah, man. It's you're a GM, dude. You can trade everything. You can trade draft slots. You can trade picks. We got to figure out the platform we're playing on, but you can do all that kind of stuff. I'm going to play a clip, grab one more beer to finish up the show. Keep on pounding the questions in. I'll be back in about 14 seconds.
This is bad. We got to definitely write a song about how we do not diddle kids. Do not diddle kids. It's no good diddling kids.
There is no quicker way for people to think that you are diddling kids than by writing a song about
I do have a couple more names here for players we're giving up on. Chaz has his list. I want to go through his list. I had a couple what I called free squares that were obvious ones. Get to those in a second. Oh, Blake says Liverpool till I die. I don't know anything about Liverpool or soccer. That it is actually football, but I like real football with men, right? Not with little fairies. I love you, Blake, but they're little fairies. Seahawks tight end worth a pickup. I forget his name. AJ Barner. Now AJ Barner is a young player. This is his second year. He was top of my head, I don't know. I think 4th or 5th round pick, but he's a beast, man. 6'6", 6'7", like 260. Dude's a beast. Also, let's not forget, didn't really come to fruition this year too much, but they use him for the tush push. Now the tush push might be banned, but if it's not banned, another little feather in AJ Barner's cap. So a lot of people talking up Tungus. I love Tungus. Tungus is the shit. Dakota says Blake goat. Damn straight he is. All right, so I'm up in the comments. Keep on posting some more comments in here, boys. I am going to read Chaz's list. I'm going to give you my free squares here. These are players we're giving up on. Tua Tagovailoa, that's the easiest one of all time. Quarterback 28. I know that's pretty low, but he's only 28 years old. I don't know if he starts again. I don't know where he starts again. He's awful. He can't read defenses. He can't escape pressure. He is awful. He's one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. So, like, if you have him in Dynasty, if you're thinking about drafting him next year, I'm giving up on him. He's done so. TJ Hawkinson is the next one. Tight end 21 in Dynasty. He's going to be 29 years old. He's only 28 right now, which is wild. But what I saw on film was really, really bad from TJ Hawkinson. The dude looked zapped. He looked like a shell of his former self. And here's the biggest problem with TJ Hawkinson. He's never been a red zone monster. He's never been a touchdown guy. And that's like, again, there's a big enough sample size where it just appears that TJ Hawkinson's not that guy. Where I was saying Trey McBride, we were talking about 4 years. TJ Hawkinson's been in the league for 6 years, maybe 7. So what is he giving you besides 6-yard receptions here and there? He'll give you a 5 for 30. Whoop-de fucking do. You can do way better. Get the fuck off my roster. Get out of my life. TJ Hawkinson, you're out of there. Okay, let's get to Chaz's list. So Chaz couldn't make it tonight. Thank you again for Blake for stepping up and co-hosting the show with me, man. You are a great individual. I'm much appreciated in terms of what you do for me and just the community. You're just a very enjoyable gentleman and one of the nicest people in Kentucky, because there's not a lot of cool people in Kentucky. You're one of them. Mike Evans for Chaz. Mike Evans, wide receiver 46. He is 32 years old. I think there's a chance he retires. Now, I don't think it's going to happen, but I think there's a chance he retires. We don't know if he's going to stick with the Bucs. I would expect he does, but you have a really crowded room. They like McMillan, Ibuka, everyone loves, and Chris Godwin they paid last year, so that's a big room. They still like Kate Otten. They have Bucky Irving. Like, I don't think Baker's a top 5 quarterback like everyone was saying this year. So Mike Evans, an easy guy to give up on. Now, I will say this. Mike Evans looked great coming back. He was probably the best player on that offense after he came back. The playoffs didn't use him that much, but there was the game, I think the first game against the Panthers, where he went off. His first game back, it was like 6 catches for 105 yards. He still has it. Now, the question is, can he keep up his physical specimen body and play football? I don't know. 46, though. It's a low number, but you're also only going to get 1 or 2 years max out of Mike Evans, so that's a good one there. J.K. Dobbins, running back 42. He's only 27 years old. This is kind of goes along with my free squares, because J.K. Dobbins is an easy one to give up on. Guy has never finished a season ever. He can't stay healthy, so like that's not going to change now. So J.K. Dobbins, we're giving up on him. He also has Tua on his list. I feel like that's everyone's free square. If I ask everyone in the chat, everyone in the community to give us names on guys they're giving up on, I think Tua would be on everyone's list. The last one I want to have a conversation about, it's Mark Andrews, tight end 20. Isaiah Likely is most certainly gone. So you're going to have that kind of feather in your cap if you're an Andrews owner. And he's 31 years old in September. He's 30 right now. So come on. Can you get out of here? My dog is squeaking a toy. 31 years old in September. I don't know how I feel about this one, because Mark Andrews is not the same player he was, but he showed some flashes this year, particularly on the, remember the fake tush push they ran, where he ran like 42 yards against the Browns to win the game? He has some juice left. He's never been the most athletic guy. Gone are the days where he had 90 catches for 1,100 yards. and was the tight end 2 in fantasy. Those are gone. But like where he's at tight end 20, and the fact that Isaiah Likely is gone, and there's a chance you could have a Lamar resurgence year or two. And he loves Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews, would it surprise you if Mark Andrews scored 10 touchdowns next year? Wouldn't surprise me. This is the one I disagree with the most on Chaz's list is Mark Andrews 10 and 20. So I'm not giving up on Mark Andrews. I'm not saying I'm going to reach on him next year and redraft. I'm not saying I really want him in Dynasty, but not really a guy I want to give up on yet, just based on Isaiah Likely being gone and that connection he has there with Lamar Jackson. I'm not going to bet against Lamar Jackson. I know Blake had him as a fade. Not going to bet against the guy. I can't do that. All right, let's get to comments here. I'm going to play a clip while I do something else real quick, and we'll be back in 10 seconds.
Jeez, Peter, you're more excited than Adrian Peterson at an arboretum.
Daddy, what kind of tree is that?
Man, I want to beat you with so many things around here.
Thank you, Blake. You're the man. Where would Likely go and become fantasy relevant? Lots of upside. I'm going to go and look through the list of teams here. I would say Washington would be a very good spot for him because Zach Ertz is done, gone, never to be seen again. So he's gone. They don't like Ben Sinnott. I like Ben Sinnott. I like him a lot, but he is not a thing. He had a chance this year, and they were playing Jake Bates as much as they were playing Ben Sinnott. So he's gone. So let's go in terms of teams here that he could be good on. Dolphins. I think the Dolphins could be a great spot for him. They don't really have a tight end. Jets have a good tight end. Not going to be the Jets. Not the Bengals. Not the Browns. Texans could be a spot if I know they do like Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz is a little long in the tooth, so Texans could be a spot, although I would not like that for fantasy that much. I think Washington's a better spot. I think Miami is probably the best spot. Broncos could be a spot for them that they're most certainly going to be releasing that clown that they had there. They like Troutman. Troutman to be there, but Evan Ingram is gone, so you don't have to worry about Evan Ingram anymore. The Chiefs, if Travis Kelce retires, which we don't know about yet. So those are a couple names in the AFC. In the NFC, I said the Commanders. The Giants could be a destination, although I wouldn't love it for fantasy. Harbaugh is moving there. Harbaugh does like Isaiah Likely, but I don't think that's a good destination. He'd be splitting time with Theo Johnson. I'm a big fan of Theo Johnson, so I don't want him going there. That's a destination, though. In terms of the NFC North, the Vikings, if they do release TJ Hawkinson, which I expect they will, that could be a spot for him. Panthers could be a spot for him. I feel like the Jatavion Sanders experiment and Tommy Tremble, those guys are just guys. They might want to bring in a better pass-catching tight ends. Buccaneers, maybe. They do like Cade Otton. Falcons, if they get rid of Kyle Pitts. I would like that if they got rid of Kyle Pitts. The Saints, no, that's not an option. And then that's really it. So those are the teams I think that he has a chance to go. He will get paid, and he will get a chance to be a starting tight end somewhere. I always liked Isaiah Likely. I went back and looked at his draft profile coming out of college. He ran like a 4.75. So like I feel like he plays way faster than that. I was really surprised that he did not come out athletically that great because we know he's not a good blocker. He is literally a move tight end, but he's flashed some good film in the NFL. Wally says Hawk is washed. Wally, shout out Wally. He is a Vikings fan. He would know. And Hawkinson is beyond washed. He's terrible. CDs, Tua can't read a book, too many concussions. Concussions are definitely a factor, but I wasn't even factoring that in. I think his ability has just gone to shit. Hatcher, do we want Michael Wilson next year despite what might happen with the Cardinals quarterback situation? First of all, Hetzer, we have to see if Michael Wilson's going to be on the team because I think this is a great spot for them to trade Michael Wilson because they're pretty tied to, pretty invested in Marvin Harrison. They have a lot of holes on that team. I do like Walter Nolan as one of the defensive cogs. They brought in a defensive tackle, but they have a lot of holes. He isn't a pass rusher, right? He's good for a defensive tackle as a pass rusher. They have a lot of needs at pass rusher, a lot of needs at linebacker, a lot of needs in the secondary. So they have a lot of needs on defense is the point. And they don't have a quarterback. They have a pretty suspect offensive line, and Trey Benson is questionable at best as a running back. So, like, if they could get a second-round pick, now I don't think they could. I personally would do it if I was the Titans. A second-round pick or a third-round pick. For the Titans, third-round pick would be an early third-rounder. I would do that for Michael Wilson, and I think the Cardinals might consider that as well. In terms of he stays with the Cardinals, it's probably going to be Brissett again next year. It's not going to be Kyler. But now you're looking at a lot of mouths. Trey McBride's the one there. Marvin Harrison will probably get the most snaps and or targets or both, and Michael Wilson will go back to his normal role, which is still a large snap player, and he would get more looks. He has earned more targets, but that's not enough to make him fantasy relevant. Now, he's probably looking at wide receiver 45 right now with first things I saw, where if he stays with Arizona, I don't hate that, but I feel like he's just kind of what he was before with a little bit more upside, but not an upside play, right? He's going to have 45, 50 catches, 800 yards, 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns. Good best ball player, better in best ball type player. But without an injury to Marvin Harrison, like, what are we looking at? Like, that was, I'm going to say this. I'm the biggest, as you guys know, biggest Michael Wilson fan ever. I had him as a PP. I loved him coming out of Stanford. Had him as a PP in 2024. I had him as a pillar player. And then this year, I liked him a lot, and told everyone to grab him. The second Marvin Harrison had that fucking foot injury, grab Michael Wilson. I was shouting it at the rooftops. I had him everywhere. He won me a lot of money. Biggest Michael Wilson fan ever, on record. Marvin Harrison's going to play ahead of him. So I'm not going to just, the talent's there, but in a rough situation, so he gets moved. We have to hope he gets moved. Not in Dynasty. Let's see. Why not? Not in Dynasty, but I might want Mike Evans to draft in like round 10-ish. He'll go higher than that, though, Hetzer. If he comes back to the Bucks, for instance, in redraft, I think he'd be a 7th or 8th round pick. This year, he was a late third, early 4th, sometimes mid 4th player. He still showed the ability. Baker's due for a rebound. He would be a 6th, 7th, 8th round pick, depending on what happens around him. But Ibuka's going to be there. Chris Godwin's definitely going to be there, and McMillan's not going anywhere. So 10th round, he has too much clout in the fantasy community to ever be a 10th round pick. I would love him in the 10th round for sure. Lamar had a rough year. I think he will bounce back though. He will bounce back. It's just, is he going to be able to return value? Because as of now, he is quarterback 3, quarterback 2, quarterback 3. And that's right where he was going last year. So that's also a reflection of the quarterback position as a whole, right? Drake May is there, but there is just so much parity. There's so much depth at quarterback. So it just kind of drives these guys down. And besides Josh Allen, like, you don't have those epic all-time fantasy ceiling guys just because I don't know. Let's be honest, man. The NFL, they're running the ball a lot more, right? The NFL is just, they're understanding teams are playing too high shell coverages, and they're just saying, hey, I'm going to run the ball an extra 10% than what they were 5 years ago. So that's what's been really killing these quarterback numbers. And remember Tom Brady's second to last year, he had 5,300 yards passing. Dude, I don't know if we've seen a 5,000-yard passer since. I know it sure as hell didn't have one this year. Maybe Joe Burrow had it 2 years ago, but rare to see a 5,000-yard passer. Hetzer says, what round will Matthew Stafford be drafted next year? From early indications, by the way, Matthew Stafford is definitely coming back. He announced that. He is going to be, I don't know about round, I could give you quarterback. I would say he's going to go quarterback 14. So he's still going to be going outside of the fantasy starters because he doesn't offer anything on the ground. So that's going to be a value. Maybe he moves up into top 12, but there's so many of these younger guys. Every year these guys get pushed down like Matt Stafford. And it's crazy that after the year he just had, he's pushed down that far again. That's what I saw is like 13, 14, 15. So that's right outside the fantasy starter range. Matt Stafford was quarterback 1, depending on your scoring, Hetzer. So if you're in a 6 for a passing touchdown league, I'm pretty sure he was quarterback 1 or quarterback 2. Josh Allen was quarterback 1 in most formats, but he was right there. Dakota says Stafford is undraftable in a 12-team redraft. I wouldn't say undraftable. I mean, that's what you're saying is you shouldn't draft him to be your starter because, I mean, a lot of the Fantrax leagues I play in, man, like they're 18 rounds? Yeah, 18 rounds. So like, and there's no trades. So every team takes 2 quarterbacks. Like that's why I had Stafford a lot this year because I was taking Stafford in my second or third to last round as my backup. Same with Jordan Love. I was taking a lot of Trevor Lawrence, but he's draftable for sure. And I think it depends on your scoring, right? In a 4 for a passing touchdown league. Yeah, I don't really love Matt Stafford. unless there's like passing yards bonuses. But if you're in a 6 for a passing touchdown league, Matt Stafford is very viable because as long as Devontae Adams is back there, it's really, really, really tough to get better than that. It kind of zaps the scramblers upside a little bit and like give me the pocket passer in those formats. CDs, I like Gunnar Helm as a dark horse tight end. God, Gunnar Helm, Chikakonkwo is probably gone, and Gunnar Helm would be the starter. He's really slow, and he played a lot faster. His NFL film was good. It was better than I thought because I believe he went to Texas. And I was just going back on, I did all my tight end research for this year, and I went back on last year's just kind of look at player comps and 40 times and all the bullshit. And Gunnar Helm was like a 4.75 40. Really big guy though, like 6'6", 260. But I do like Gunnar Helm, and I like the Titans offense. So I'm really into the Titans offense. So if Gunnar Helm's the starting tight end there, obviously for redraft, I'm not talking about Gunnar Helm. He's a streaming option. But in terms of best ball, if you're looking at Gunnar Helm, I would project like between 19 and 21, tight end 19 and 21. Maybe even later than that, based on who they bring in. If they bring in another guy to be like the 1B. Gunnar Helm would be that dude because he's going to catch touchdowns. I like Cam Ward as a year 2 breakout, and I like the fact they have a professional coaching staff. So I am definitely down with some Gunnar Helm. Hetzer, Commanders need a tight end. Zach Ertz is done, I think. Zach Ertz is definitely done. And if he's not done, he's not going to be in the Commanders. And also, he's an old tight end that just tore his Achilles. So he's not going to be relevant in at least till like week 13 or something like that.
I was between that and Muhammad.
Why the fuck would it be between that or Muhammad? Why don't you just pick a common name like a normal person?
Muhammad is the most commonly used name on earth. Read a fucking book for one.
All right, boys. Give me a few more comments, a few more questions, and I am out of here. Tomorrow's show is TBD, to be determined. As in, I don't know if I'm going to do it. Friday night, we have a very special show. Very special show. Nick O is coming on as well as a very, very new host. It's going to be a big part of the show going forward. His name's Tom. He knows ball. Nick O talks him up a lot. I had a chance to talk to him. He's a childhood friend of Nick O, and dude knows ball. We talked for like 45 minutes. Seamless stuff. He's elite. So very happy to have him on the show on Friday going forward as well. So Friday will be a big night. No show on Saturday because that's Valentine's Day. I got to spend the night with my wife and go to some fucking Pound Town, son. Maybe I'll get anal that night. That'd be fucking awesome. But we're still going to have a couple more shows the rest of the week. Obviously, Friday for sure, possibly tomorrow, and then Sunday. And then Monday, we're doing a Star Wars. We're ranking all the Star Wars movies. Four people on that one. Me, Storey, Ben Bartelt, and Big Ray. And then next week, we're going to dive into a bunch of free agency stuff. Free agents, landing spots, you name it, every position. And then soon enough, we're into the combine and NFL draft stuff, as well as the normal way we run the show. We just let you guys give us the questions, we answer them, we talk, all that kind of stuff. Dakota calls me a hipster with a fucking wearing a sweater and my mustache. I love that, though. Thank you, Dakota. Why won't the Bears give Roshan any run? I don't know, man. I don't know. And I was just watching the film of, it's Jadarian Price, I believe, that he's the backup, the second string running back to Jeremiah Love. And I was thinking about Roshan Johnson because I loved Roshan Johnson's film coming out of Texas. If you guys don't know, Roshan Johnson was the backup to Bijan Robinson in Texas, and limited run for Roshan, but Roshan's film was epic in college, bro, epic. And Bears drafted him. I really liked the pick, and they just not giving him any run. 1 year, I think it was, I don't know if it was his rookie year or second year. I believe he's now it was his third year this year, but like, I think it was his first or second. I think it was the second year. He got decent run, and he looked okay. He wasn't great. It wasn't flashy. He's slow, but he was supposed to be very, very agile and very powerful. I haven't seen that in terms of NFL film, but he's had a very limited run. And I don't know why. I think he fell out of favor with the coaching staff. He's done there because they love Monangai, and if Swift is gone, they'll bring in ETN. They will draft somebody. So Roschon's done. I don't get it. I like Roschon Johnson, or I will say this: I liked Roschon coming out of college, but some of these guys just don't hit. We don't know what's between their what their motivation is, what's between their fucking ears. We don't know. I always thought all accounts Roschon, great kid, hard worker. I thought he was a decent football IQ, but it appears he does not have that. So I don't have an answer for you there. It's just weird. It's weird. I liked Roschon. Colby says 49ers wide receiver. What are you referring to? Ricky Pearsall, who just can never fucking play football? He can't. Maybe Brandon Ayuk. Is that we're talking about my giving up segment? Who I'm giving up on? Brandon Ayuk's terrible. Players are giving up on. Hetzer, so just let me know, Colby, what you mean by that before I get off. So who's going to be the Jets quarterback next year? Well, a new one. A new wide receiver. They'll draft somebody. They always draft guys. They have a couple guys they drafted last year they like. So Kyle Shanahan fucking produces wide receivers just like he produces running backs. Jets quarterback next year. I think Kyler Murray has a chance. I don't want him to go there because Kyler Murray cannot play outside. He cannot play in cold conditions. He cannot play in that cold ass outdoor division. That's for sure. But like that would be without those things. Take those things aside. I would kind of like Kyler there, but it could be. I don't know. I think Malik Willis would be a good spot there. I think that Malik Willis has been tied to the Dolphins as well, but like that would be a good spot. The problem is they just brought in Justin Fields, and like I feel like Malik Willis is kind of Justin Fields 2.0. Like, you know, maybe he's a little better. Maybe, I don't know. He's got a limited sample size. Same type of player. So it's like, do they really want to go from Justin Fields busting to bringing in Malik Willis and paying him pretty big money in free agency? I wouldn't do that. So they could draft a guy like Simpson out of Alabama. I want to say Samson because I want to talk to Samson. They could bring in Simpson.
I want to talk to Samson. Fly me to the moon like that bitch Alice Cram.
But that guy's a project, and you can't start that guy day one. So I don't know what the hell the Jets are going to do. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. What the Jets are going to do, because Justin Fields is definitely gone. Titans will pick up next year, trades, draft. Titans have the most money in free agency, I believe, or at least top three, Hetzer. So they're going to have their pick of the litter on all fronts. I think I read an article about them spending pretty big money on Wan'Dale Robinson. I don't know if I like that. I think they didn't make a splash. Wan'Dale Robinson is just not a needle mover for me. He's a fine player, but I would rather draft a receiver, although they just drafted two receivers in DK and Iowa Manor in the 4th round last year. Not exactly high draft capital picks, but they're going to overhaul this entire roster, and this could be a very dangerous team. That division is, you know, it's not like they're playing in the Chiefs division, right? They're not playing in the AFC West. They're playing in the AFC South, which, you know, okay, the Jags have Liam Cohen. They look like they're up-and-coming division team in that division. Yes, they were good. Houston is awesome with that defense, but they have C.J. Stroud, a lot of question marks on offense, and the Colts have a quarterback problem. And, you know, a lot of players up for free agency. So that's not exactly like a world-beating division. So Titans could be one of those teams that surprise next year. I'm really, really a big fan of what the Titans are doing. And I do really like Cam Ward. So, oh, hi. You say hi? Right there. It's my doggy. Say hi. Okay. Jets quarterback next year, Kyler Murray. They want an athletic guy. He's a pretty decent thrower, just a Jets quarterback. Again, my issue with that, man, is that I don't want Kyler Murray playing 60% of his games in cold weather outdoor conditions. He just is not built for that, man. And that's an issue. That's a big issue with Kyler Murray. And it makes sense. Everything else makes sense, though. I would like that. Buy low. Kyler Murray is 28 years old. Like, it's not like he's a geezer. I feel like this is a reclamation project of reclamation projects, but, like, I'm not into it. Most wanted. The Niners will be good. They have Kyle Shanahan. They'll be good no matter what the situation. I think that they're going to have to be their hands going to be forced to trade Mac Jones because Mac Jones is probably going to fetch a 2nd round pick. They're going to be offered a 2nd round pick for Mac Jones. And you do it because Kyle Shanahan also is kind of cocky, as he should be, and you could just bring in a Zach Wilson or Will Levis or one of these other guys and have a reclamation project in that guy, right? Where like Mac Jones, you did your job, you helped us this year, and you're going to fetch us a second round pick when we paid you 2 years, $8 million, whatever it was, super low contract. So like that's exactly how you make money in football, right? In terms of like as a franchise, like that's a lot of good equity you're gaining from just picking up Mac Jones. He gave you some good shit. Now you trade him to another team, and now you just move it around, right? Move the carousel around. You have Brock Purdy. He's obviously the guy there. And it's not like you don't want to have that big, high payday backup quarterback, which Mac Jones is so super cheap. That's why Mac Jones is super valuable, and he will fetch a lot in terms of draft capital. Second round pick, they could not say no to that. Just for a second rounder, I don't think you even need a player. Second round pick is super valuable, dude. Super valuable. So I would do that in a heartbeat. They have a lot of issues on that roster, specifically in the defensive side of the ball. And they would do that in a heartbeat, I feel like. Even maybe a third rounder. I think a third rounder is borderline if they would accept it. Jeffrey says, I think Will Levis should go to the Rams. Honestly, back up Matthew Stafford. They're similar in ways. That's a great call, because if you know you have one more year of Matt Stafford, why not bring a guy in that could be the guy of the future? Again, I keep on bringing up hey. I keep on bringing up these guys, and I think that Anthony Richardson, not for this situation, I'm also pretty high on Anthony Richardson in terms of you get him for free. You get him for a 5th or 6th round pick as a reclamation project. Maybe not so much for the Rams, because Sean McVay is not known to like scrambling quarterbacks, but there's so many guys that are just washed out but still in the league that you can get for nothing. Most wanted, I'd send him to the Vikings for a 3rd and a wide receiver. Well, you know what you could do, most wanted, if you wanted the wide receiver, you could probably get a 4th, and you can get a 4th and you can get Jordan Addison. Or if you want to get a 3rd and Jalen Naylor, I don't think I like that as much. I think I like Addison more, or I just want a second rounder. I want a second rounder and no players if I could. But I think Jordan Addison is definitely getting traded this year, because Jordan Addison is a knucklehead. I think they're done with his antics. He's been arrested too many fucking times. Jeffrey says, Anthony Richardson, I like him more on the Browns with Todd Monken. That would be a nice situation there. Let him compete with Shedeur Sanders. Let Shedeur Sanders start the year. He'll flame out. He's not very good. Anthony Richardson comes in and just takes that job. Yeah, or Jalen Naylor. It's one of the two, guys. Addison, there's no way you're getting a 3rd rounder in Addison. Addison's going to fetch a 3rd rounder on his own. So like he's worth a 3rd rounder already. So you're not going to trade Addison and a 3rd rounder. Like that's just too much. You might as well just trade a 2nd rounder to keep Addison. So yeah, take a second. All right, boys. I am out of here. There's only 5 people in here. Subscribe to the channel. We have a big show Friday with 2 guests. We have next week, at least 5 shows next week. Again, get in the Discord, get in the Patreon, professionalfanatics.com. Vote on show ideas, whatever you want to hear, as well as this. You know how the show rolls, man. Your chat decides the show. I read every goddamn chat before I get off, so that's what I do. So appreciate everybody in here. I'm going to play a clip. Anyone has a last comment, I will answer one more comment. If you have a good one, I'm going to play one clip, and then I'll get you guys with the outro, as you will.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong, Walter. You're just an asshole.
Okay, then.
You just take it easy, man.
You know, that's your answer for everything, dude. And let me point out something. Pacifism is not... Look at our current situation with that camel fucker in Iraq. Pacifism is not something to hide behind.
Just take it easy, man.
I'm perfectly calm, dude.
Yeah, waving the fucking gun around?
Calmer than you are.
Cheers to everyone in the chat. Thank you for all the supers. Mouthy the Man, Downtown Sports. Check their show out. They just had 2 shows released this week, as well as Mark, number 1 super fan. Again, thank you to my media manager, Blake, for coming on the show at short notice. Appreciate you, my dude. Stay positive. Love your life and respect each other. Again, no show tomorrow night. Most likely, unless I get a little drunk and I want to come on. But again, check in the Discord. Or subscribe to the channel with your bells on. You get whatever I go live, typically every single night at 9:30 or 10 p.m. Friday night, great show. Make sure you tune into that. It's going to be awesome. A newcomer on the co-host ranks. He's going to be awesome. His name's Tom. Can't wait to have him on. Appreciate you guys. I'm out of here.
Just seemed like a good dude. I thought I'd see if you wanted to grab a beer, that's all. I'm glad you called. We get home safe, Pistol.
You got it, Jobin.
I'm sorry, what? Nothing. Oh, what'd you say?
I don't know.
You nicknamed me Pistol, and I just called you Jobin. It means nothing. I'm drunk. I'm gonna call a cab.
All right, man. You have my number, yeah?
I got you stored in my iPhone.
All right. If you need me, call, okay?